Hello, everyone. What is going on? And welcome to the year 2024. Woo!
We did it. We survived
Oh,
one more year.
what are we doing?
What? We're live. We're good. We're live.
We're recording our first podcast of 2024.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Hope everyone who's listening to this had a happy holidays and a happy new year. And if not, well, I'm sorry.
Sucks to suck, loser.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not the route I was going.
Yeah, well,
Not the direction I was gonna go in, but to each their own, I guess. Tyler's ringing in the new year one way, and I'm saying happy new year.
I'm bringing it
Tyler's
with
like,
violence.
Bring it back down. But we're here to talk about the very little bit of news that came out during the holiday break, and the mostly look ahead towards 2024 and go over games, anime, shows, movies, things like that are at least worth talking about a little bit that we want to bring up. And just kind of say my name before the year starts. So, why do we have to start with?
We're not going to start with that. We should instead introduce ourselves the first time in 2024.
I forgot.
We haven't done that
for the
part
first time
yet.
in 2024. My name is Timpedia, and on my right,
That's Friedman, also known as Andrew, mostly known as Friedman.
and on his right.
No. Not starting off the new year with
No,
this.
podcast canceled.
We're trying something new
Podcast
for the year.
New? What is that? I'm exhausted. Just Tyler is exhausted already.
No. Tyler, we're less than 48 hours into the new year.
Yeah, and I was already grouchy today at work, so
I started the year as I'll leave the year tired again.
pretty much. Pretty much. Literally today, I got hit with like, yo, 2 surprise projects already, Tyler. I'm like, awesome, cool. What I like. That's what I like when I come back.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, right.
Well, speaking of don't do it. Yeah, so Prime came out here and said, we want to lose the streaming wars just as fast as everyone else is too. And they come out and say, starting, I think it's January, all U.S. territories except for like Guam, the Virgin Islands, and like outlying U.S. territories. Basically, the core United States, ads are getting added to Prime Video, and you can pay $3 more a month to remove them. This is not the way. Like, when Netflix announced, like, we're doing the ad tier, it was, hey, the ad tier is going to be cheaper than our thing now, because the whole point is that by supplementing the cost with ads, we can allow it to be cheaper and get that particular part of the market that wouldn't pay for stuff otherwise, the market that's too cheap. Whereas Prime is like, nah, we got a captive audience already. Like, we're just going to throw ads to milk them for more money, and then just milk them for more money if they don't want to be milked for money.
Yep.
Very much anti-consumer. If Prime went and said, hey, we're going to offer a $3 cheaper package that has ads to maybe get people who are on the fence, maybe. But the fact that you're taking something I already had and you're just making it worse, objectively, sucks.
Yep. Isn't it?
The question is,
late-term capitalism, great.
How many?
Ho fidelity.
Like, my question is,
I need to go to Reddit r/piracy.
Like, when are we going to get to the point that these platforms are like, hey, we're just going to remove the pay to remove ads option. We're going to force you to deal with the ads.
We're going to force you to pay to watch the content and still feed you ads.
Like, that was how I felt the first time I paid for Hulu and it had ads. I was just like,
everyone talks about things crashing. Can we have marketing crash, please? Like, ads just paying for everything on top of paying for things is just like, can we just stop having marketing all so much, please?
I'm genuinely curious, like, how much it works. Like, I'm gonna say this, I'm the proud owner of a Ridge wallet, but I bought it before they started advertising on YouTube.
I mean, Val and I have subscribed to HelloFresh for a couple of years now, but I can't use a new promo code. Like, every podcast I listen to and YouTuber gets promoted by HelloFresh at some point.
Well, like, when you started using it, how did you hear about it?
We moved to Ohio, and we were like, we know these services exist. We should try them. And we just went online and found promo codes. I think I might have had one for HelloFresh from a podcast, but like, we tried Plated and I think like Blue Apron or something, and we picked HelloFresh, and we just kind of rolled with it.
Gotcha. Like, I'm curious, like, when you're on the internet and you can click on an ad and it brings you right to the storefront, I get it. That's an easy pathway to getting someone to buy something. I've almost bought random shit I've seen on Facebook. But, like, if I'm watching a commercial on a streaming platform, like, I have to go out of my way to then go look up the thing that I was just advertised about. Like, I feel like there's got to be a lot of whatever the opposite of traction is.
I get that it's an expense that everyone else says is, like, egregious. I am so okay with paying for YouTube Premium every month. To the amount of time I'm on YouTube not having ads is literally like making YouTube the thing I spend the most time on my phone doing.
Yeah,
like,
I'm debating on it just so that I can, because like obviously I use ad blockers on desktop, but like on mobile I have to sit through the ads, and they're getting worse and worse.
See, but with me having like the TV and everything, like the smart like the built-in app on the TV and everything, it's just so much easier. Like, I get it.
Hear me out. You could just stream it from your desktop.
But Tyler, it's so convenient to just pick up the remote and just be like, okay,
what
watch
do you
this.
mean?
Or just let
Oh
Miss
my
Rachel
gosh.
cruise for Henry.
Man.
Do you guys find that on YouTube you get the exact same ad for every single video?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the one with this problem. Paul, real quick, I need to complain about this. So I think it's a Genshin ad that I keep getting every single video. It's one of those 5-second skipables, but it's a video of some random streamer rolling in Genshin and like nutting because he gets an SSR waifu, and it opens with him just screaming at max volume. I can't stand this ad. I'm never gonna open Genshin, but I get it on every single video I've watched for the last month. There, I'm done ranting.
Before we move on to the next topic, and before I want to, Freeman, you'll appreciate this. There's a tiny bit of magic news that I'm just seeing on Reddit as of today. So I'm actually gonna add this into the show notes because this is kind of relevant as a topic. So, for those of you who've been listening for a while, Freeman, you'll probably remember this. Back in, I want to say 2017, when the War of the Spark stuff was coming out. Remember they did the the special editions, the mythic editions on eBay, where they had 10,000 of them and they sold them on eBay, and I got lucky and got the third one. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Okay. Those were limited print run products. When Wizards switched to making secret layers, what did they do? They switched them to print to demand, where they would leave open an order window, and then once they were done, they would go, okay, now it is time for us to print 53,9,800 copies. I don't know, whatever. However many people ordered, they would print that many, probably plus like 10%. As of 9 hours ago, Wizards has said, we're just not getting our customers our secret layers fast enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to limited print runs because we want to ship our products to you more quickly. This feels like such manipulative bullshit in that they just want to say, okay, we know how to sell this many. We know how much it's going to be in demand. We can set the price as high as possible, and people will fear FOMO if they don't buy it in the first 5 minutes, and then they won't have a chance. So it's
moving
this
to like
is
you're not even guaranteed to buy it if you want it after the announcement.
The window of 2 weeks might sell out before the 2 weeks.
When I read the news, I was under the impression that this was kind of like, hey, we're gonna do limited print runs, but like,
nope. They're gonna print, and
we
then
start
they're
printing before you buy,
yes.
and then if the orders beat it, we'll just do a second print run of it.
I don't get that impression reading their article. I think their article literally says this does mean it might sell out, but deal with it. Practically, here's a quote, the last paragraph of the article. Practically speaking, this means that some products may sell out before their end date. However, it also means waiting significantly less time from order to secret layer drops arriving at your doorstep. While popular secret layers drops may sell out fast, we now have 4 years of secret layer sales to base our print run numbers on, and we're aiming to get as close to overall demand as possible. The result should be that most players get what they want faster.
I'll play devil's.
Bull.
I'll play devil's advocate here. Both times I've bought secret lairs. By the time I received them, I forgot I purchased them.
It's a present. It's like a cool present. Like, who cares?
It still took a while. Like I'll be one to complain about this because Bandai does the same thing. They have this thing called Premium Bandai where it's like you order and then 6 months later you're gonna get these Gundam kits. I'm looking at next May building the master grade Tallgeese Flugel. And like by the time it comes out, I'm gonna forget that I purchased it.
But like, so what?
They finally brought like the extra expansion pack hits for the Witcher Mercury kits. They're finally in pre-order in the US. They're not shipping till next September. I'm gonna forget I bought this when it arrives.
But that's why who cares?
I do. I kind of want this shit now.
A lot of people care, Tim.
I wish I could just buy it now.
I don't know. I never was like, oh my god, if I don't get my secret lair cards within 2 weeks of ordering, then like magic cards don't exist anymore. Like, I don't.
There's too much shit going on, bro.
Honestly,
yes,
I may end up cutting cards from my decks at this point before I receive them in the mail.
But Tyler, what you just said, that's why I don't care. Because there is so much going on in my life that I'm not like, oh my god, I'm thinking about this all the time. That if I don't get this, is there? Let me flip it around this way. Is there a secret lair I wouldn't buy because I wasn't gonna get it in 2 weeks? No. So at the end of the day, so it's fine. Why stress about it?
That sounds pretty gay to me. Ask me.
I don't know. I just feel like this is like manipulative to like drive up demand because now people are like, hey, things that sell out, Wizards has sold things that have sold out instantaneously, and not for nothing. I would love to look at the secret lair data they have because some of these secret lairs must sell like crap and some of them must sell amazingly well. And with Wizards' track record, it is literally impossible to trust that they would predict correctly. Like, Freeman, remember 30th anniversary?
Yeah.
Even though that was the shittiest product ever, that sold out instantly.
Yeah.
Worst product ever sold out right away.
I'm trying to formulate an argument here that's not too offensive to you, Tim, but like, who are secret lairs targeting?
Whales?
Whales, yes.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, whales will always spend money on stuff.
Yes.
They're going to continuously, because Wizards still has to double their profit margins twice in the next 5 years, and so they got to find a way to do it without actually fucking up the game. So if they just want to like fuck over the whales at the top end, be my guest. I'll continue buying my crappy non-foil arts and playing whatever format is least shitty at the moment.
But like, is a whale someone who's like, if I don't get it right away, I won't buy it?
Instant gratification is a big part of being a whale. I say this as someone who plays Fate Grand Order.
It's still not instant.
Coming from a shark, not a whale. A shark.
But that's instant.
I don't know. 2 years ago, I was definitely a whale. Now that I have most of the servants I want in Fate, I'm no longer whaling.
Now that I'm a full whale, I'm not eating as much.
My goal is to like legitimately not spend money on gacha games this year. We'll see how it works. But like,
Freeman, remember how you opened the year with Val and I again? You had
yes,
Val
but
do your
I
role.
already had paid Saint Quartz from last year, so it was fine. And unlike the last 3 times I've done this, I got a new servant, even though the servant was kind of
Val had the
still a new
touch.
servant.
Val did Freeman's free New Year's roll after midnight.
I rolled Jacques Desmoulins, who for some reason in the mobile version of Fate Grand Order is a waifu. But that's the point.
Well, that's the beginner's touch, though.
None of us had ever touched. I didn't touch it last year when I did it, and I rolled crap for Freeman.
I mean, well, all right, it was bad for me, but it was still an S tier waifu you rolled.
I'm not even going to try to make a transition out of that. Speaking of shitty people who run shitty companies, Bobby Kotick, who's never going to have to think about money for the rest of eternity because he's a piece of terrible human. He's out at Activision, and immediately everyone went, wow, here's a story about how miserably horrible this man was. Oops.
I think it's an interesting company policy that, like, the second the CEO's out, you're allowed to post just whatever the fuck you want about him with no repercussions. I think it's great. It still seems weird. But honestly, reading through a lot of... I don't understand
why all these people waited till now. Like, what were they afraid of their jobs before, but now they're like, it's fine. Microsoft don't care.
I think the idea is that, like, if Bobby Kotick is still the CEO and you're tweeting about him, he can, in theory, have HR let you go. But now that he's not, in HR. He's just another person, and the company really has nothing
It still
to say
seems
about it.
weird to have all this, but hey, all this crap's coming out about how he threatened to have, or he talked about like if an employee wouldn't get in line, like sending somebody after them. A lot of Call of Duty devs were like, "Hey, all the bad decisions you know, some of those came directly from Bobby Kotick."
Damn.
Just a lot of, and of course, like just stuff that a lot of devs were like, "Hey, you have bad decisions that was made by Activision? Well, it was probably partially direct from Bobby Kotick." I maybe I'm talking myself into this. It feels like now that he's gone, I'm sure he was a shitty person, but it feels like it's also the fact that all these articles and stuff are coming out. It's like, ooh, Bobby's gone. Now we can, hey, he's our scapegoat. Let's throw a lot of the bad stuff, a lot of the bad juju with him, and then try to get everyone back on our side. Like this is almost like a low key, not marketing thing, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're already pretending that middle management isn't also the problem.
Yeah, no, it's hard. Like I worked at a company that was small enough that a bad owner could mean bad times for everybody, but it's really hard to believe that like at something the size of Activision, Bobby Kotick had so much direct influence on so many projects. But either way, glad he's gone. Sad that he earned more money than many countries in the world on his way out, but whatever.
I'm still so upset that he killed Overwatch. That him and him alone, no other person on the planet led to the
no one on the
downfall of
Blizzard
Overwatch
side
1.
of things definitely screwed up Overwatch. No, sir.
Yeah, right.
Overwatch,
In reality, though,
Diablo, all of it screwed up.
Like memes aside, he's legitimately the reason that Jeff is out of the Overwatch team, and so I'm mad about that.
Oh, like I said, I'm not trying to deflect and say he's not a terrible dude. Like I'm sure he is. It just feels manipulative in a different way for everything to come out all of the second he's out the door.
Yeah.
But hey, the industry lost nothing of value, so great. Activision is now fully in the Microsoft bubble. I don't know if we'll ever find out who's in. I mean, do we even know who's in charge of this? Everyone knew who Bobby Kotick was because they hated his guts, but like,
yeah, who's the next scapegoat?
Who's the? I'm thinking of the movie Airplane, Tyler, where they blow up the pilot. Like, who's Microsoft's gonna place in the chair and inflate
oh yeah,
so that
who's the blow up doll that's gonna the autopilot?
Who's the wavy arm guy in front of the car dealership? Who's the target at the head of Activision right now?
Yup.
Weird. I'm seeing article after article about how he was staying on as CEO, but like I don't see an announcement on who's replacing him. So I guess there's currently no CEO.
Oh, they're getting.
Oh, never mind. They will report to good lord, this is this man's actual name, Matt Booty, the president of gaming content and studios at Microsoft.
Matt Booty.
Wait, who's they? Activision?
Activision Blizzard will report to Matt Booty till a new CEO is appointed.
Damn, that's quite
he's acting CEO.
That talk about no joke. I had a boss at another at like a more mid-sized company who basically had to absorb an entire second team as large as the one we were on. That's actually kind of no joke to be like, I run, like, what was his title, Freeman?
President of gaming content and studios at Microsoft.
He was like telling Bobby and like 15 other people what to do, and now he's absorbing every person who reported to Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, that's a lot of power.
There's a lot to deal with.
That's kind of a lot.
All right. If I had to take a serious look at how they're operating, I really don't expect Activision Blizzard to start making big moves until they have a new CEO. Because there's no way Matt Booty's going to start just like calling shit out while they're still looking for the new person.
Guys, release the Overwatch 3 trailer that you've been sitting.
Bring back the PvE. This time we'll release it in 4 years.
He's going to be like, guys, just station keep. Like, look, just put Call of Duty out. That'll get you through the year, whatever. Like, just keep putting out. Don't even put out patches. Just kind of sit there, do nothing, and we'll get.
How do we do an Overwatch Classic?
The answer is no. The answer is never. I'm sorry.
Isn't a WoW expansion coming out this year? I know we're not going to talk about it in games.
It
but
is.
I I'm sure
Only because our
Luigi-
friend Luigi, who gave up playing WoW and quit raiding, who's currently playing WoW and raiding, told us about the expansion recently.
Tyler, before you got there at New Year's, Luigi said, you remember how he had to miss on Tuesday Hangout last week because he had a guild meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because that was the first meeting of his new guild. His other guild fell apart again.
Oh my god.
He's on another new guild.
When will addicts ever learn? When will they
He
learn?
told us that there's a new server we should join, and if you're still in his old server, leave it.
Yo,
I've been gone from that one. I haven't been in that one.
I still leave it
I
occasionally because
never
they post some
bothered.
spicy pictures on that Discord server.
Bothered. Oh
I'm always curious to see how degenerate people can get. They'd want their names affiliated with what they're looking at.
What they're
it's so, dude. That is the most like.
Talk about
man.
If
I had a purge, I think the reason why I was in it for so long is because if I had the power of God and anime on my side, they'd be the first ones to go.
Every time I think I'm too terminally online, I go and check out that server to remind myself that I'm not.
Dude, yeah, sometimes, right? You sometimes need that reminder that, like, maybe you do deserve to live. maybe you're okay. Because then there's degeneracy, and then there's like bottom of the barrel.
Anyway, that's a perfect transition. Speaking of bottom of the barrel, it's time for the Weeb shit. So there's not a lot of news this week. Thankfully, it's because this is the first week of the season, so like everything is going to air between, like, I think starting tomorrow.
Literally within a week, we'll have seen almost, or like within 10 days, we'll have seen almost.
Between like the 3rd and the 12th, I think like 90% of the shows are going to have their first episode. So good stuff's happening. We're closing out stuff. The only two, or I guess the only 3 big things that got announced since our last recording. The first one is hot off the presses that Yusuke Murata, not the original author of One Punch Man 1,
the mangaka,
but the illustrator for the remake manga, who I guess he started his own original plot. Point is, Yusuke Murata announced that he's starting his own animation studio, which is interesting because he's done, like, while he does the manga, he's one of those like expert illustrators who has enough time while doing weekly serializations to also redo every single chapter before they release in the volumes. But on top of that, when he's bored, he animates sections from the manga just because he wants to. And he's really good at it. Like, anytime he posts one of his animations on Twitter, everyone just loses their mind. So to see that he wants to do an animation studio is certainly interesting. Everyone's reporting on it like he's already founded it and it's opening pretty soon. He just put it to Kickstarter like 48 hours ago. So we'll see if it even happens.
How much, Freeman?
Given that I found out about this 2 hours ago, I have not donated it at all.
All right. Okay. What are the tiers?
What are you going to?
Yeah. What's the goal here?
Let's go find this.
I just searched Murata. Nope, that doesn't bring.
May
it
not
up.
actually be on Kickstarter. He may just be kickstarting.
All
right. How's he doing this?
In the meantime, I was gonna say. Also, apparently, he has 2 kids.
He's a dad?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this man.
That's a lot of the Reddit comments were like, how does this man have any time in his life for all this? Like, I don't understand.
Yo, man, I know this guy who's a family friend. He is a firefighter, was a volunteer EMS. He volunteers on trains, and he also works with my dad part-time. And he has kids and a wife.
What?
Who hasn't left him yet.
Who hasn't left him yet?
Like, I mean, at this point, they're not, but, like, we're just like, how? How, Sway? Yeah, so, it's it's a thing.
I don't like the meme, but he's definitely built different.
Definitely built different.
Man's on another level.
Oh, shit.
Freeman, I'm not seeing a link anywhere to an actual Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think he just announced that he's going to kickstart one, not that he's currently actively kickstarting.
So, Freeman, how much money?
I'm about to say how much money.
50?
I don't know.
50?
I would do 50.
First Blu-ray? I would do 50
I would do 50.
No,
I don't know if I'd do more for that. Like, the question is, like, animation studios are rough when it comes to generating profit. And I'm curious, like, a lot of starting animation studios, they do a lot of their work just getting handoff work from larger studios that are, like, on time crunches. So for him to be like, I want to start a studio that's just going to do an original show, It's very risky.
Oh my god. Well, Kickstarter.
I want to see it succeed, though.
Freeman, what do you think? Could this break 500 on Kickstarter?
I don't know, because like
I was gonna go mill, and I'm like, that's too much. That's too much.
Like I get recommended the most random shit on Facebook recently, and there was this huge argument about like the big three of anime and how it's not a thing that's supposed to move from generation to generation. And the whole comment section was arguing, is One Punch Man in the theoretical big three of the mid 2010s? And the whole idea that season 2 fell off as hard as it did killed the hype around One Punch Man. Like, I remember when season 1 came out, you could recommend this shit to just like people who didn't watch anime.
My dad watched One Punch Man years ago with my cousins.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he said he liked it.
It had normie appeal, which was great, and then season 2 just didn't.
I think season 2 also took too long.
It did take way too long. It's 100% they couldn't get the original team. They didn't know what they want to do. They stalled, and then JC staff, hot off of Food Wars, like, we have time. Let us do it.
We have time.
But like the slideshow team that did Food Wars was like, we can do it. Whatever. We're getting season 3 at some point.
You know what's funny? For the look ahead, I intentionally didn't put One Punch, partially because it's not confirmed for this year.
Yeah, we don't have a real date for it.
But also, like, I kind of don't give a shit because I still never watched season 2 more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, me either. I didn't watch like past like the second episode in season 2.
It's a hard sell because like,
right, you did watch a little more than me.
I'm not gonna like sit here and try and convince you guys to watch One Punch Man, but like One Punch Man is starting to enter this arc where like, you know how Saitama always wins. So in order to make the stakes cool, you have to take him out of the plot and have the other characters doing their own shit. And for this season, the other characters doing their own shit was very good, but Saitama's plot was just so weak. It was like almost unfun to watch what he was up to. And with the next arc, they fix it by having Saitama show up less and less, and he only appears during like really pivotal moments. And the side cast really blows up starting in the next arc. So it could improve from here. I really just think it was season 2 cutting way too many corners on a weak arc.
I just want Moomin Rider or nothing as side characters. All right, that's it.
Yes. I was listening to his theme song the other day while I was driving, and I just keep thinking like they gave the coolest theme song to such like, I don't want to call him a nothing hero, but like a nothing superhero character.
Yo, he's not nothing. You take that back.
But he's not nothing. He deserves that theme song for who he is. He's just a cyclist for justice.
Cyclist for justice.
Let's get through this stuff. So, two shows that we give a shit about here on the podcast got their sequels announced this week. The first is, I don't want to set up a joke. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really, Really, Really Love You. Tim and I are like one episode off from finishing this one, and they confirmed right after it finished airing that we're getting a second season.
Let's go.
Which I am still in shock about this. That not only that there's a season 2, but that this whole like series exists entirely. Absurd. And the next one was at the conclusion of the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 final episode, they confirmed there's another Jujutsu animation project in the works at Studio Mappa. No additional details given. We don't know if they're going to try to do a movie or a season, but I don't think the next arc is like small enough to do as a movie. So realistically, it's another season, but they don't want to confirm it until they've started like scheduling their staff for it.
Oh, it's not small enough to be a movie. Sorry,
what did I say? It was too.
No, I think I just misinterpreted what you said slightly.
Yeah, like there's no like short arc to do as a movie. Like they're just gonna jump right into the next arc.
Yeah.
Unless they start splitting this, doing some Demon Slayer shit, but chances are we're just getting Jujutsu Season 3 next. But yeah, that was it for the news. Like I said before, new season starting this week, so we'll probably next time we record talk about some of the new stuff that we watched.
Easy speasy.
Yeah, hopefully by then I'll catch up on all my anime.
Hell yeah.
Well, Tyler,
I'm like
if you
one
caught
episode
on
off
anime,
from so many shows.
If you caught up on anime, we could talk about that at the very end. But for now, we're looking ahead to 2024. So you reminded me I needed to put a show in for what I've watched since last time. So I kind of broke this out into a bunch of categories. We're not really going to linger on stuff unless it's something we super care about, but there's things I at least cared about enough to throw on the list here, and we all contributed a couple things or have things a couple of us are going to talk about. Starting off with Vigigams. I think for a lot of people this is the biggest one of the year, even though it's not a full game, but supposedly the Elden Ring DLC is coming out this year.
So you say it's not a full game, but weren't they hyping up like this DLC is supposed to be like massive?
It's probably the size of like another video game that's not Elden Ring, but I think based on what's come out before, it's probably going to be about. Let me stop. I have a number that says about a third in my head, but I could be totally wrong. All I know is everyone's freaking out. Elden Ring DLC, like there's somehow people are putting out content like every day about this thing. We still don't know anything about it. We didn't get a peep at the Game Awards.
We have a date for it?
No.
Damn.
I think it was known when it was first announced that it wasn't going to be last year, and I don't even know if it's known that it's going to be this year, but we'll see. Actually, Tyler, that reminds me. Silk Song is probably supposed to be this year, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to.
Supposed to have been coming out for what, the last 3 years now?
Yup. Yup.
Tyler, honest question, do you think you still are really hyped for Silk Song to come out, or has it been too long?
It's been too long.
They missed it.
I think it's been too long for a lot of people. I know I have one friend who is hyped because he's somehow 100%ed
Wow.
Hollow Knight because he's weird.
What a lad.
Mm-hmm. Like, only mildly impressed.
Yeah.
I think he's crazy.
That wasn't even on the list. It just popped into my head because we're talking about things that waited too long, like One Punch Man. Friedman.
Yeah, so we got the double JRPGs
another
going on.
Excuse to not play Witcher, I see.
So, well, we
doesn't even deny it, Tyler.
Yes. I've got more shit I want to get through before I circle back to Witcher 3.
Yo, your friend's wife is gonna beat that fucking game before you, bro.
Oh yes, she'll beat the base game before I beat the DLC.
No, she's gonna beat fucking what's it called?
Both
DLC before you.
Freeman, you don't understand how you're supposed to hit light speed racing through when you get to the DLC. It's so good.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Witcher is the perfect game to put down and just come back to. There's no barrier to pick it up again.
All right, Freeman, is this game a one to pick up and put down because you're picking it up?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to play it immediately at launch because it's too close to the release of the game I'm going to talk about after. But Persona 3 Reloaded, aka the Persona 3 remake, is finally coming out February 2nd. This is a huge step for Atlas because it's simultaneously releasing in both Japan and the US, and more importantly on PC for both of them, which they've never done before.
Wow,
I'm a huge proponent that, like, if you want to play through the Persona games, in terms of tone, 3 is the best place to start. But Persona 3, being the oldest one, sucks. It has so many outdated mechanics, and even the remake of it, Persona 3 Portable, cut a lot of stuff to be on the PSP, and I don't want to recommend that to people. So I'm at the point where, like, I can't tell people what to play first. I'd say just go to 4 and then accept the fact that 3 is going to suck later. And now I don't have to, because 3 is now going to be the most beautiful Persona game ever released. Even more stylish than 5, because they're just straight up ripping the style of 5 out and slapping it onto 3. So I'm very excited about this. But I'm probably not going to play it immediately at launch because I'm trying to make sure I can play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or I think that's what it is. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 coming out like not even 4 weeks after Persona 3 Reload. So that's the game I'm looking forward to the most, and that one I'm actually going to play at launch. But 3 Reload, ultimately, I'm probably going to end up picking up like end of the year.
Got to plan out my whole year of gaming based around.
I got to figure out what games because before I do Persona 3, I want to do Yakuza 0. Because I started playing it, I'm having fun with it. I want to get into this franchise, so that's in the queue after 7 Remake 2 for me. But let's keep going down this list.
Well, go to the next one.
Oh, Final Fantasy.
Oh, sorry, I had kind of alluded to Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 comes out like 4 weeks after Persona 3 Reload. I'm super hyped for it. We'll get into what we're playing now, but I'm playing a game to prep for Remake Part 2 coming out. Overall, looks super good. It feels weird being nostalgic for Remake Part 1, but like I did the math and it's been like 3 years. So we've been waiting a bit for this sequel. I'm very excited
for Disc 2.
Yes.
Yeah, we have.
Or I mean, technically, it's the second half of Disc 1, right?
Dude, that's not. I would argue.
Is Midgar the end of Disc 1?
No, Midgar, I would argue, is like the first third of Disc 1.
Yeah, like we're not even close to the middle of the real story.
Like you don't even like where they get to. At the end of the remake, like that's where the actual game opens up, and we get access to the open world.
Yeah, I'm curious how much they're going to cut for this.
They're going to cut a lot. They can't cut a lot of the important stuff. Like they can't cut the snake, they can't cut Niflheim.
Yeah. That whole
Um,
flashback is gonna be so good.
we're gonna see Junin this game.
I think Sid is not playable in this game or something.
Damn.
But he's gonna show up. We saw him in the trailer.
Yes, that's ass though.
It's gonna be like Red 13 was in the first part, where like he's there, he's not playable yet, but he's still in the plot. Either way, 7 Remake Part 2 is gonna occupy my existence for probably a month or two.
Yeah,
knowing
same.
how slowly I play video games. All right, but let's keep going. This one, even though I've got all this shit queued up, this is a game that I feel like you can just play in the middle of everything else, and I'm very excited.
This is kind of a cheat because this is coming to early access this year, which means it's probably coming out next year.
Oh wait, it's not actually full releasing this year?
No, but
we should talk about the title of what we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to do, and then you jumped in, Freeman. So it's Hades
Sorry.
2. Hades, one of the best roguelikes, I'd say, out
Ever.
there. Yeah.
Probably the best one.
Damn.
Next to Slay the Spire.
Yeah, nothing's still super new out about it, but it is supposed to be coming to early access this year. I'm
definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait.
I enjoyed the first game, and I played it not on early access, and I would never play this on early access because that's how you immediately, in my mind, burn out of a good game is playing it on early access.
It depends. This is not a game I would play on early access though. Like for story purposes.
Do either of you know how much Hades changed from early access to full release?
I don't know.
No, I didn't even know it was out on early access.
Oh, it was out on early access for like over a year.
I had no clue.
I don't know how much it changed, Friedman, but I do know a lot of the content came in as early access rolled on.
Gotcha.
So that's the big killer for me is like, oh, if you play Hades 2, you're gonna miss out on all the good shit that they add by the end. Like that to me is like playing Baldur's Gate 3 too much in early access before it came out the full package.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's kind of a disservice to be playing things in early access and not giving any feedback to the dev. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to give feedback, so I'll just wait for the official release and trust the people who are giving feedback.
I haven't returned it yet, right? All right, that's good enough. Nah, you'd like Michelle. Michelle, because she did that for Coral Island. She has been playing early access all the way up to V1, and like she was very active in the Discord.
Good. That's exactly what you should do in my mind if you do early access. That's the whole point of early access, not play the game before it's done. It's
I paid money. Okay. Like for Ready or Not, I paid money.
That's a fair case. The only time I would do that is if I'm buying the game knowing it's going to be on discount and I know when V1 comes out, I'm going to have wanted it. Which is what happened with Ready or Not.
Yeah, like Ready or Not. Which, by the way, we need to play more.
Okay.
We do. If we're not going to do movies during our off week, we should do some gaming.
We should.
Sure.
Drop a comment.
We could do a run after this, except you're going to go to bed, Tyler.
No, this is going to run way too long. We're not even through the games yet.
We're blowing through pretty quick. This is fine.
Sure.
Speaking of which, I'm going to throw a name on here. I threw a name on here. I don't think either of you have ever heard of this. I hadn't heard of this.
This game looks like shit.
You think?
Yeah, Flintlock Siege of Dawn.
Okay, so I wanted to put it on the list because on one hand, I have a soft spot for anywhere that has magic and guns in it because that's usually pretty cool. But also, Tyler, to your point, I was getting mad for spoken vibes from this trailer.
Yeah. I saw this. It's not because... All right, everybody at home, it's not because she's black and she's a woman. It has nothing to do with that. It just doesn't look that great, okay? No, it looks questionable. It looks like one of those like those new IPs that you see... like what? How do I explain this?
The new IPs that want to be that like AAA blockbuster and then they come out and they just
that you find in the bargain bin for Xbox 360.
This is the rare AA game these days, where it's not pure indie. There's definitely a team that put money behind this, but also it looks like it was built for like last gen.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to bring it up because, like I said, the whole magic, guns, and swords. Like anytime you have all three together, I like.
You know what? It could surprise us. We'll see.
I mean, it does look pretty generic. Like, It does not look like it's trying to do anything too exciting. And just like I said, I'm not gonna lie, Tyler. Even as I was like, this is kind of cool, I was like, this kind of gives me mad for Spoken.
Yeah.
Freeman, do you really think the Switch 2 is coming out this year?
Yes. So Nintendo has like nothing announced for this year. I realize they've moved to
that's
these like
right.
very.
We talked about this like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
too.
they've moved to more short-term announcements where it's like when they announce a game, it's coming out like in the next 4 months, which is nice. But they've been unreasonably silent about games, which is a heavy indicator that they're probably going to announce the Switch 2 probably like April or May. This is weird because like if we go back to when the Switch released, because we're talking like what, this is like 7 years ago now the Switch came out. It's been a while.
Don't
Back
say
then,
that.
I was very much an aggressive Smash player, and I was a Pokemon master. And I am neither of those things anymore. So both of the things that were like making me want to buy Nintendo consoles aren't really a thing anymore. So like if they come out and they say the Switch 2 is not backwards compatible, very real chance I'm not buying this console.
Oh, totally.
If it's backwards compatible, I'd probably trade in my Switch 1 to see if I can get a discount or something here. But there's no real driving force for me to get another Nintendo console.
Yeah, the only way I'm getting a Switch is if Michelle gets one, and I don't plan on playing it.
There are rumors that Sakurai is coming back to do a new Smash, but
man,
I don't know if it's enough to get me to buy a whole.
I want to die.
I will say though, I do want to play Super Mario RPG though.
Oh, the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently played through like 3/4 of one on the emulator that I gave Tim, but I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it. No matter what I did, the save that it created, I couldn't use anywhere else.
Huh.
So I'm like, I beat like 3/4 of it. I still think it's an amazing like SNES era JRPG, and I know a lot of people really love the remake. So I'm gonna let it cook for a little bit until I've gotten nostalgic enough to play it again and maybe do the remake. But it's pretty faithful, so definitely worth playing.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Speaking of pretty faithful, you know what's pretty faithful to one of the biggest licenses in science fiction? Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine.
Yeah, yo, it's gonna be. What is this weird three-player co-op though?
Oh, that's right. We were gonna do that.
Oh, because they figured out that 3 is the magic number for multiplayer. Because 4 is too many people. But
no, fuck you. No. 4.
No. I don't agree with this statement. I'm saying the industry has coalesced in the idea that if you want to do like group multiplayer, 3 is the magic number.
I think partially you're right, Freeman, but I think also they're trying to go. I think it's been so many years of 4 and 2 are the numbers that I think there's just developers at this point who are like, I never wanted. The game was built for 4 or 2. I have 2 friends. I don't want to do this.
I feel like it depends because like I feel like Halo 4, or not Halo 4, just like the Halo games worked with 4. They could work with 4, given like how they can scale. But like Destiny did not work with 3. Like it should have had 4, in my opinion.
But was that like, that was more that just you needed more roles in the gameplay?
That too.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Is when you have different functions in the team. Whereas
this game, though, I don't know why they're even putting co-op in it.
Because co-op makes most things better. Fine, Tyler.
Fine, Tyler.
We won't play Space Marine with you.
That's the thing. You say that, but Resident Evil was shit co-op, and you can't change my mind.
Resident Evil 5 is. I have only played that. I have only beaten that game in co-op.
Yeah, you know why? Because that game solo is fucking terrible. But you play a co-op, and well, even with the AI partner, like everything about that game is tragic. It should have never been co-op, but that's beside the point.
I'm trying a thing, man.
That's the wrong kind of thing to try in a horror franchise. All right,
Look, we're talking about Warhammer here, okay?
Yeah,
Warhammer's cool.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not against it.
To me,
it looks dope as shit.
To me, this is like sci-fi Dynasty Warriors co-op, like just plowing through enemies as like literal walking tanks that aren't Gundams.
You know.
Yes, we need a new Dynasty Warriors Gundam game.
I feel like that is a high level concept for Space Marine too. They're like, we want Dynasty Warriors in the future with rats, like
with rats.
rats and goblins.
I didn't play the first one, but I've watched enough of the first one that I just am like, this seems like fun.
I played it when Freeman and I lived together briefly.
Wow, that's far back.
Yeah. And I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. But you know what is sci-fi and what I feel is meant for co-op? Helldivers 2. Have you guys played the original Helldivers one?
No. What kind of game is this?
So the first one was an asymmetric like 3D like twin stick shooter thing. Tim, I think you would like it.
This game looks cool.
Let me look it up.
It's basically like it makes fun of Starship Troopers a lot. Like you go in with your team
making fun of of something else.
Yes.
Okay, can I just say Helldivers 1 has a thing called Helldivers Dive Harder Edition.
Dive Harder. Oh my god.
Automatic thumbs up for that name.
Yeah, it's funny. I used to play it a lot when it was free on the PlayStation Plus store like 1 month like when I was in college. And we had fun playing it. And then Helldivers 2 is a third person over the shoulder like action, it looks like. So completely different than what the original looks like.
Is this also co-op?
So we've definitely had this conversation about Helldivers 1 before because it's already in my library. I definitely got it when it was on sale once on your recommendation and then just haven't touched it.
I mean, I'm down to play Helldivers 1.
Speaking of which, it is on sale for $5 at the moment of recording.
Was this made by the people who made Alien Swarm a million years ago?
I think so.
This is giving me big Alien Swarm vibes. I don't know if you guys remember that game at all. I played that a lot when that came out because it was free.
I don't know, but this is a game I'm looking forward to.
This looks fun.
Yeah. And
any
I don't know
game
what
that involves drop pods is an automatic.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh my god. You can spend $5 on the Dive Harder edition. There's 39 hours left, or you can buy... Oh, they also made a Gauntlet game on PC. That's what it looks like. Okay. Or you can buy the Digital Deluxe edition, which is like 15 DLCs and is $5 more.
Well,
if Tyler says it's good, I'd probably buy the $10 one.
I was like, you want me to buy it for you?
What? Why would you? What?
Merry Christmas.
$5.
What? Why would you? Well, I said I'd buy the $10 one, but also like, why would
$10
you do that?
then, sorry.
No, I'll buy it. If we're gonna play it, I'll buy it.
Mary Chrysler or something? Not Mary Light Chrysler?
Mary Chrysler.
We weren't on my...
We did Secret Santa.
That's true. I was like, you weren't on my list, but...
Yeah.
It's fine.
Freeman's the one who bought me for our knitting circle.
Yeah, which we still need to do.
For context listeners, that's the term we use when we build Gundams together.
No, you shouldn't have given any context. You should just let them be like, what the fuck?
The fuck's a knitting circle?
What are these gamers doing knitting?
Right,
and then they're like, damn, we wish it was knitting instead.
Oh my god.
That'd be better.
All right, I'll close out the list on games. So I didn't realize this one was originally announced for 2024. I don't think it's actually going to come out in 2024. The current title is Metaphor ReFantasia, but let's be real here. It's Persona 6.
Yeah, this is
it's
that
the
Persona knockoff game, right?
Yes, it's everyone who works on Persona left the studio only to rejoin as freelancers to work on this game. So it's the Persona staff doing a game that isn't Persona 6, but it's also not Shin Megami Tensei, except it looks like Persona and it looks like Shin Megami Tensei, and it's the same fucking characters they always use. So let's be real, it's this Persona 6. Excited to see what they do with it, because since it's explicitly not Persona, it's not going to use a lot of the systems related to that, and is going to do something new and unique. So I'm curious if it's good. So I'll definitely be following news on that one and talking about it briefly throughout the year as they give us any information outside of that original trailer.
Oh, is that it?
Let's go to you guys ready to go to the movies?
Let's go to the movie theater, boys. So we ended the year with one of the best Godzilla movies we've ever seen, if not the best. And we're going to come into the year, and I forget when it's coming out. It's like spring or something. But we're going to see,
this movie.
Hopefully, another very good Godzilla movie where it's Godzilla Cross Kong, The New Empire.
What the fuck kind of name is that though?
No, it's Godzilla X Kong, but I'm making fun of like
about to
Hunter x
say,
Hunter and
I'm
all that
like-
shit. It's our Spy X family.
Yeah, is the X silent in this or not?
No, the X is pronounced in this. I'm just making fun of it because the something X something is like the dumbest shit in naming ever. But this movie looks hype as hell. The director seems like a cool guy who likes Godzilla a lot and wants to make references to Toho movies. Godzilla is going Super Saiyan pink. Kong has the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, what more could you ask for? This
feels like fan fiction.
What's wrong with that? We got the serious movie in Godzilla -1, and then we're gonna have this. It's like the nice, healthy, filling meal, and then the yummy dessert. Like it's 1-2. It's great. Godzilla's even pink, like sprinkles.
This feels like coming from
What the fuck did I just say?
Yeah, I don't, dude. I was about to ask.
No, I'm excited for this. This is gonna be an instant in theaters. If it's an IMAX, hell yeah. Hearing Godzilla just pop off in IMAX.
I think this is one of those movies where I would see it in theaters, but if it's not in theaters, I'm not seeing it. Like it's it's a cinematic experience, but it's not meant for like enjoying it at home. The theatrical experience of just having the sound and the big screen.
I mean, the sound helps, but to me, it's like when you see these movies in theaters once, then you kind of always get the feeling of that again when you watch. Like I told you when I was traveling to Vegas for work, I watched King of the Monsters, and then on the second trip, I watched Godzilla vs. Kong on just my tablet with noise canceling earbuds on an airplane. And it was still awesome to see Godzilla just rear back and just blast atomic breath into the core of the earth. That shit was awesome. And it just roared. It was great. So I get what you mean, Freeman, but for me, that's not a factor, but I can understand for someone who's not as drinking the Kool-Aid.
How do I put this? I was not that impressed with the first Godzilla and Kong, but like just feeling the atomic breath in theaters during -1. I think if I watch Godzilla X Kong, I'm gonna have to see it in theaters.
Okay, you gotta not go in with such expectations because the atomic breath in -1 is like the best it's ever been. I mean,
no. I'm aware to have my expectations set correctly, but like if there's a scene where like Kong is roaring at you, if you're watching it at home and your volume isn't maxed out, you're not feeling it the same way you feel it in a theater.
Freeman, I'm gonna disappoint you. The best Godzilla breath scene in the new Godzilla movies that America's making happened 10 years ago now. In Godzilla 2014, Ty, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When Godzilla does his last atomic breath in that movie.
Yeah.
And
it's too bad that whole movie was shit.
What? Okay. We're not going to go into that. When he roars after that and the music like bumps in, oh man, that in theaters, that was like the like rumbling everything earthquake feel. That was hype shit.
Listen, there's gonna be nothing. I'm gonna keep moving because we're
lingering.
There's nothing. Literally, all of these movies are gonna be ass except for
the next
Dune Part
one
2.
and the one after it.
Yeah, then we can blitz through.
But we've seen Gurren a bunch of times, so it doesn't matter. So
no, Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is coming out in, is it March or May? I forget which M.
No way, it's March. It feels way too soon.
I can't wait to see this. Dune Part 1 was awesome. I can't wait to see the end of this story.
It's supposed to be 3 parts, right?
No, everyone.
Oh, it's only 2?
No, that's why everyone was shocked when the first movie opened and it went Part 1, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, we thought he might have crammed this all into one movie." But like 2 movies is perfect for this story.
Okay, good. Because I was going to be very concerned about how long are we going to wait
for Part 3. No. This is going to be it. Then there's the TV show that's not even on our list that's coming out, but that's like a 10,000 year prequel, kind of like who cares except for Dune nerds thing.
Yeah.
But like this movie's going to be awesome. Soundtrack, visuals, everything. Can't wait for this. First movie me and Freeman are seeing in theaters this year is 2 movies 1 week apart. Gurren Lagann is having an anniversary movie screening of Part 1 and Part 2. I think it's a new movie, Freeman, or is it the...
No, it's the same 2 movies that had already been released, but this is the first time it's ever been dubbed.
That's right. So we're seeing the movie that's never been dubbed before. which is literally the only reason I never watched these 2 Gurren movies.
Yeah, I can't find like a legitimate press release, but there's like articles here and there that are saying the original dub cast is back for it. And I'm just like, please, I hope they are. Like,
I mean, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed if you bought the tickets for both movies and then we walk into the first movie and it sounds nothing like the original voice.
The thing is, like, the core cast, like, I don't know about Keaton, but everyone else is like still voice acting. Like Simone, Kamina, Yoko, Liron, they're all still active voice actors. Even though I know they're all union, so a lot of places will like avoid paying for them, and they only do video games now. But still, with the way they handled the 15th anniversary for Gurren, with getting all of them back to just do interviews about the show, I feel like they'd want to put that effort in to get the dub cast.
I feel like if they did that, what was that, 5 years ago or 10 years ago?
I think it was. There's no way the Gurren 15th anniversary was that long ago. It was like maybe 2-3 years ago. I think was the 15th anniversary.
Okay, there's no that
2007 anime.
That feels like it must have led into talks about doing this then. Like that timing lines up too well with like, hey, by the way, when you guys have time, let's do this movie.
Am I a dumbass? How is this the 15th anniversary? I thought this thing came out in like 2007.
Wait, what? This is.
Am I bad at math?
Freeman,
This
yes,
Gurren Lagann did not come out
2007.
From 2024, 15 years ago is 2007.
Okay, Freeman, it's rounding, but it's roughly 15 years.
Unless this is the 15th anniversary of the US version. No, because that came out before we graduated.
All right, so there's a Lord of the Rings movie coming out, and none of us are going to see it, but we have to, against Tyler's will, I'm going to mention it here because it's still a big deal that there's a Lord of the Rings movie coming to theaters. Not the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares.
Tyler, what
no one cares.
For
Who
years
cares?
I've been accused of being the Debbie Downer, and now you're
not
like,
even Valerie cares.
She probably just forgot about it because that ring.
Nah, man, I listened to her after she watched the fucking the show. She's dated as fuck.
I'm not saying she's not, but like, like I said, none of us are gonna see this. But like, hey, man, it takes guts to be this stupid.
I'm the Debbie Downer. You know what? I might be, but like, still doesn't change the fact that no one cares.
Okay, you know what? No one cares about Gladiator 2.
Facts.
Damn it.
Facts. I would go see Lord of the Rings before I see Gladiator 2.
I don't understand. I mean, people love.
You don't understand?
No, Tyler, you didn't let me finish. I don't understand. I know Gladiator's a great movie. Why the fuck did anybody think it was important to like 10, 15 years later make a Gladiator 2?
I don't know. Is Ridley Scott even directing it?
Quick Google.
Sorry, I was completely tied out from the podcast. They did release a dub trailer for Gurren, and I think Nia got recast, but I think that's the only one.
That's okay.
Wait, what?
He is directing.
You're kidding me, bro.
Because I don't think Richard Hoffman's voices anymore.
Movie. Wow.
Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal are in this. What the fuck? No way. Ridley Scott's directing. No shot.
Wait,
no shot. I don't believe it.
Wait, the guy who was there's a guy who was one of the senators in the original movie is coming back to play that same senator.
What the fuck? No way.
Oh, I'm like half the cast doesn't even have character names yet. When is this coming out?
No way. I don't believe any of this horse shit.
Coming out
what
in
is
November,
this?
so we don't know much yet.
How does half the cast not even have character names yet?
November. It's coming. This is a Thanksgiving movie.
Okay.
Gladiator fucking 2 with Denzel Washington fucking Pedro. What? And Ridley Scott is directing. You know what? What was the last thing Ridley Scott directed that was good though? Let's look at that. No,
I just closed the tab. Now I gotta go to.
No, I'm going back. No, I'm in IMDb right now.
I thought we weren't moving fast enough. I thought we gotta.
No, this angers me.
Well, I know you said good, but the last thing he directed was that Napoleon movie that apparently no one really liked.
The last good thing he did was The Martian.
Oh wait, no, he was a producer on that. What did he direct?
Oh, no, I thought he did the. Wait, hold on.
Where's director? Oh my God! Just show me director.
He did The Last Duel, which I heard was just okay.
Oh, he was the director.
The Martian.
Of Napoleon.
He did The Martian, which was good.
The Martian was incredible. That was an excellent movie. But yeah,
that was the last movie
that was
he
also
did.
8 years ago, basically. 9
Yeah,
years
that
ago,
was the
technically,
last
by
movie
calendar.
he did that was good.
Alien Covenant, All the Money in the World, The Journey, Hennessy XO, Raised by Wolves, The Last Duel, House of Gucci, Behold, and Napoleon. Woof.
Yep.
What was it before The Martian even?
Oh, the last good movie that he did? He did American Gangster, which won
Yeah, okay.
awards.
Okay. Black Hawk
And then
Down.
apparently Body of Lies was like mixed, but people like that.
Yeah, I recognize that name for sure. He did the Robin Hood movie. Okay, anyway. So yeah, the Gladiator 2 is coming. Okay, I'm gonna hot take here, even though Tyler's gonna swerve in and say I agree. Can't say I care a ton about Deadpool 3.
Fun fact: I haven't seen a single Deadpool movie.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see Deadpool.
Damn it!
3.
I should have known as soon as I tried to guess.
Kind of like that's the thing. Like
Tyler, is it
the only reason
Wolverine?
why. No, it's not even because Wolverine. It's because I legitimately think like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is amazing. I think he's hilarious.
See, but my thing is like it felt like Deadpool 2 was kind of like not as bad as like Thor Love and Thunder ended up being, but it was the same like trying too hard to be funny kind of thing.
I don't know. I feel like I attribute it to like it just being Deadpool.
I guess. Yeah, it's probably
like I'm not like that being said, I'm not a Deadpool loser.
Deadpool
right.
loser.
Like, do you guys remember those guys that like walked around in like Deadpool shit all the time when the first movie came out?
Okay, well we can move on because I don't even want to.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Okay.
Knives Out 3. If that's an actual thing, I'm looking forward to that.
That's potentially on this list after Godzilla and Dune and Gurren. Like this is number 4 in that top 4. Like Knives Out 3 would be hype as shit.
So I watched Glass Onion, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be so disconnected. I can just watch.
Oh yeah, they're all disconnected stories. The only character is Daniel Craig, and there's literally he doesn't reference the first movie a single time.
Yeah, you should watch both though, but you can watch Glass Onion without watching the first one though.
Although the first one is probably slightly better.
I think it's slightly better.
But that's like comparing a 9.5 to a 9.3. Like Glass Onion is still better than most movies.
What, do I win anything? I win an iPad? Fucking cracking it. Like it's like this shit's hilarious.
Speaking of hilarious, it's hilarious to think that Quentin Tarantino might be quote unquote making his last movie finally.
How much you want to bet it's about him?
No, don't we know the movie critic? It's about
I don't know anything
It's about some guy. It's about some actual movie critic.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like autobiographical. Like it's some movie that's like a dramatization of some movie critic's life or something. I can't fucking remember.
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if he did some shit like that though.
Nah, there's no way,
last
dude.
Movie.
Also, we literally, what is the thing we're going on his last movie, Tyler? Didn't he say like 20 years ago, I'm going to make 10 movies and that's it? Is that not where this last movie shit's coming from? Like, but then everyone was like, oh, you should do a Star Trek movie. And then that didn't happen. And then it's like
Quentin Tarantino doing a fucking Star Trek movie?
Remember, we talked about that on this podcast like
I
a
honestly
year ago.
don't remember that.
I remember
Whoever said
news.
that is wrong.
It was around the time when the third new Star Trek was coming out. Everyone was like, ooh, is Quentin Tarantino going to do a Star Trek movie?
Yeah, picture that. Quentin Tarantino doing a Star Trek movie.
Look, we got one of the best memes in the Leo pointing meme out of
Once Upon a Time in
Hollywood. So I'm sure we'll get some dumb meme thing out of.
I mean, like I enjoy a lot of his movies, and like.
Have you really loved one since like Django though? Was Hateful Eight that good? I never saw it.
Wait, which one?
Well, there was Django, Hateful, and then Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Did you like love Hateful Eight or Once Upon a Time?
So I really liked Hateful Eight.
Oh, I misremembered.
I really liked Hateful Eight, but my problem with Hateful Eight is something that has nothing to do with the actual movie itself.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't love Once Upon a Time, but I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying like the Tarantino shock factor matters more when there's like violence and weird shit. I don't know.
Also, there's only 2 movies of his that I absolutely love, and I watch on rotation all the time, and it's Kill Bill,
Volume
and I
1.
count Volume 1 and 2 as one movie.
Oh, interesting.
I might
Okay.
be the only person who does that,
Yeah, you
honestly.
That is an interesting take.
Like I literally, like when I watch those movies, I watch them back to back, like at once.
I mean, that makes sense.
like a crazy person.
Yeah, no, okay. What's the other one?
Django.
Django?
Well, you guys know, yeah, Django.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, that's probably what most people would say is that his best is Kill Bill. I think most people would just stop at Volume 1, but Volume 2 is definitely good, just different. And then Django. Yeah. Speaking of movies that don't need a sequel, God, I know people are excited for this, but like Inside Out 2, I don't really get what the point is.
Oh, the point is to make money, but I don't think Pixar sequels ever really work.
Excuse you?
I say this as someone who loves Toy Story 3. I don't think
I was about to say one was Toy Story.
Like,
well, I thought it was
take Toy Story 3 out of the equation. What Pixar sequel did you legitimately love?
You might be right there.
Incredibles 2 was good.
Let's see, Pixar sequel.
Toy Story 2 was
Oh yeah, Finding Dory was good.
I did not like it anywhere near as much as the original.
Really?
I never even watched it.
People like Cars 2 and 3.
I haven't seen any of the Cars sequels, unfortunately.
Literally, this website I opened, Tyler, has them as the lowest rated movies from Pixar, and then Lightyear.
Damn. I liked Lightyear, but I wouldn't say it was a banger. Yo, I watched Monsters University. I wasn't gonna even put that on my watch and play, but I watched Monsters University. I liked it.
Yeah, it was
fine. I saw it in theaters, and I didn't know my brother was gonna be at the same theater. He like texts me while I'm sitting there waiting. He's like, "Hey, can you pick up the movies?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at the movies. What time does yours get out?" And he tells me, and I'm like, "Wait, are you seeing Monsters?" He's like, "Yeah." He walks into the theater like
That's
30
amazing.
seconds later.
That's fun. Yeah, I don't know. The fact that it sounds silly, but the fact that like they made that whole ending sequence where they just showed the original 4. Even in the parents' head, it's like, oh, but now we're going to run that back and just add more emotions. I don't know. The dynamic of the first 4 was really good. Or the first 5, sorry. Plus, everyone always remembers the girl. Like, that was still one of the best jokes. Speaking of what's not a joke, we're finally... I'm sad this isn't in my top most excited movies, but we're finally getting that Furiosa movie like 5 years after Mad Max Fury Road.
Yo, dude, I hate saying this, but the more I see about this movie, the less I want to see it.
Correct.
And it's really upsetting.
Yes, I agree completely. That first trailer was distressingly CGI-ified and not good looking. And even that alone was enough for me to be like, ooh, I don't. Ooh.
I'm also upset that Charlize Theron isn't in it either.
Yup. I will say it seems like it might be fun where Chris Hemsworth is coming in and kind of playing like a batshit warlord dude. That seems like a fun change of pace from like Mr. Goody Two Shoes, haha, Marvel humor Thor. I kind of like that take. I think that's gonna be fun. I don't know, man. Are we still gonna go see it? Like, do you think? Or are you going to wait for reviews?
Nah, I might see it.
I mean...
let's go see it. Fuck it, bro. Let's see it.
Almost done with movies. This one I think you're pretty hyped about, Tyler, right?
Well,
actually, I haven't gotten a chance to see Kung Fu Panda 4 or 3.
I'm thinking of Leslie then, because this was announced and Leslie was like, holy shit, another Kung Fu Panda movie? Let's go.
But I liked 1 and 2 though a lot though.
I know that they were.
Should I actually watch them? I always thought they were just a massive joke.
See, I thought that too, but then like they've persisted way longer than a joke would have. Like I think people really genuinely love these movies, and I think Leslie would talk your ear off about how good they are.
Yeah,
I think it was just like the next generation's Shrek, because like we meme Shrek to high hell, but like I don't know if I'd go out and call Shrek like an amazing movie.
No, I think
Kung Fu Panda
people genuinely like a lot.
I think Kung Fu Panda 2 is really good too. Like I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah, I think it's one of those rare cases where like all 3 movies have been good. I'm not saying 2. I don't remember seeing past the first one. I might have seen 2. But like people just love this series, and hey, if they want to do a 4th one, it seems like there's a lot of hype around it. So
I say give it a shot. Like Tim says, it's been talked about for this long and not like in a memey way. Like people genuinely like it.
Yep. And then last one. Speaking of furries,
Jesus.
The next Planet of the Apes movie. I can't believe I'm saying that still, but Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is coming out. This seems like the movie that leads to the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I need you to explain to me like what the fuck is going on in this storyline. Because I thought the first one was supposed to be this like, oh look, it's a prequel to Planet of the Apes, and it's like, look,
So
it's
it
the
was.
4th prequel to Planet of the Apes.
Literally, it's like the first one is like, hey, here's how apes get smart. Boom, drug. And it also kills a lot of humans. That's what happens. I saw only that movie. But all I hear is that the second and third ones are also fantastic. And like anytime I see these trailers, like the CGI and motion caption on these apes, it seems like no one else is doing as good as these movies are. It just seems insane. This is like, I put this on because like I feel like I owe it to these, because I'm one of those people who like, I remember watching as a kid with my dad the original Planet of the Apes and being like, how could you do a prequel to this? Man, it sounds like the first movie was like the worst one of these, and these have literally only gotten better with time. So I kind of feel like I threw this on here because like I should challenge myself, I feel like, to try to watch 2 and 3 before this comes out this year and maybe see this in theaters finally. I don't know. I just these have gotten like award nominations and like high reviews more and more, and they seem really cool. And there is that little bit of like Planet of the Apes is like a cool thing. Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Let's
Okay,
speed
and
this
with
up. We
that
spent a lot of time on
silence-
movies.
It was only 20 minutes. It's not that bad. You know, it's fine. We spent exactly the same amount of time
Not
on
that
games.
bad.
And we'll spend even less time on shows because there's not a lot of non-anime shows to talk about.
No, these are all sequels and shit. There's nothing like original that's getting promoted that's exciting yet.
So when you actually Google shows coming out, there's a lot of shows coming this year. Oh, also we didn't put Fallout on here, but I'm not going to watch Fallout. Tyler, are you going to watch Fallout?
I might give the first couple episodes a try.
Okay.
I don't even play Fallout.
But I mean, is it? I mean, Freeman, anime is the same thing. Like, and heck, look at everything we just talked about. Sequel, redo, sequel, same director.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Solo Leveling is like the
sequel,
only new anime.
Every single movie we talked about is a sequel or in a universe of something we've already seen.
Yeah, maybe. Sequels and remakes.
Arcane Season 2. Show of the year.
Is that confirmed happening?
Show of the year. Yeah, I think Riot said it was going to be 24 when Season 1 came out even.
All right.
It was
Very
like,
exciting.
or it was in question of 23 or 24, and everyone was like, it's probably 24. And I think there was stuff last year that said that it was probably coming this year.
All right, because now that they have the hype behind them, I'm convinced they're gonna up the animation quality even further for the season.
I can't, man. The first one was so shockingly good. Like, every video game adaptation wishes they could be what Arcane clearly has been for League.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see these characters in this world again in this style. Even if it looks different, the way Fortiche animates stuff with the 2D 3D blend just seems so cool. So yeah, and I still follow League and play League a little bit, so that's cool too.
That's cool.
More characters I recognize is going to be really fun. Especially with the way the show ended. Oh man, it would be so cool if we get another banger soundtrack where they do another music video every episode kind of thing. That was so cool in the first season.
I only kind of enjoyed the music video portions, I guess.
Really?
Like it was, I don't know why. I wasn't vibing too much with the music they picked for the show, so maybe that's part of it. But
oh man, My favorite part of Worlds every year is the music videos, so maybe that's just because I have an association with League with music I'm going to listen to. Because outside of anime, League has been one of my biggest sources of music for the last few years, so that's probably part of it for me.
Gotcha.
Another sequel involving mythical creatures and magic.
Oh, House of the Dragon season 2. So we're in the war arc now. I'm excited to see what they do here, because I know with House of the Dragon season 1, they were very scared about whether a Game of Thrones spin-off would still pull in any audience, and it very much did.
Spoiler, it did.
So I'm hoping that they commit the budget to properly have like dragon battles again. And don't try and.
I would still say this is the show that like between your guys' hype and how it looked, this is the show that brought me back into having, like, it ripped me back to looking at Game of Thrones as a property after the disaster of the end of the show, when I was like, bridge burned forever, and this made me be like,
Damn. My whole thing was the ending sucked, but like the second they were like, we might do more, I'm like, good. Just show me anything else, anything but the thing you just showed me.
Nah, he killed me.
What?
No mas, no more Game of Thrones.
Didn't you watch this?
What? No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought.
I watched like we watched like, I think Michelle and I watched like 3 episodes, and we're like, this is ass.
Wow.
Yeah, it definitely got better after the time skip.
Well,
regardless, I'm not trying to convince you to watch. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
No,
but
yeah,
I'm excited for season 2.
I for me, it brought me back into being interested in this world. It's gonna. I'm interested to watch it for sure.
For the next one, though.
Oh man,
I'm terrified to watch this one because I've already been burned once on a live-action Avatar adaptation.
Every single white girl who still
every single white girl
loves Avatar will watch this
is
and
true.
push it to the heavens.
This is true.
It will pierce the heavens with its staff. Like
Ong staff.
There's the
Avatar.
The cult following of the younger millennials / older Gen Zers is way too powerful going into the Avatar show. There's way too much behind this for this to be nearly as bad as the M. Night movie.
I really hope there's an Earthbender breakdancing sequence just for the reference.
I also don't give a shit about the show. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Avatar with Val and her sisters, and I liked it, but I don't have that same emotional attachment of like, oh my god, the journey.
Oh, I watched it when it was airing, so I'm very much attached to this franchise, but I don't want to get hurt again.
I don't think you're gonna. It just seems like we're not in the age where you can have such a disastrously bad adaptation of something that people care about. Like, I shouldn't have said that because I'm gonna say Halo before Tyler gets to say Halo. Let's talk about franchises with beloved stories that are more kid related. Those don't seem to fail as much as a sci-fi franchise that apparently no one knows how to do anything other than throw CGI money at.
I hate it here.
Tyler, we weren't going to talk about Halo Season 2, but Halo Season 2's
Fuck this.
They showed the ring
so
though. Tyler, look, it was the Leo pointing at the thing.
Dude, I hate it because I feel like they knew. They knew they fucked up that first season, and they're like, "Yo, but we're gonna get them though. We're gonna show Halo."
And I'm like, "Talk about Reach, and then we're gonna show the ring, and that's how we're gonna pull them back in, baby."
Yeah, no, I'm staying strong. I have to stay strong.
Oh man, I'm not gonna watch it either.
Objective survive. I can't.
Last on the show block.
Do we care? Do you care? Are you a white girl?
Look, I can't.
Yes, he is.
Look, it's a guilty pleasure, okay? Val and I have enjoyed watching Bridgerton. We even watched... I wasn't going to watch the Young Queen show, the Queen Charlotte show. I wasn't even going to watch it. And then just being in the room as Val was watching, I was like, what's going on? It was the Leslie meme of like when she sees a snack, Tyler, when you bring candy, she's like, what you got over there? It's the exact
thing. What you got over there?
What you got over there, Val? What's going on? Bridgerton season 3 is coming. I'm interested to see which which Bridgerton kid it's about. I forget. I think we knew, but I don't even remember. But
I
got
remember when
spicy at the end of last season.
Val tried getting me to watch it.
Oh, you would
She
never.
insisted. Oh, you remember that?
No, I'm just saying. I know, even without remembering that you would never.
Yeah, she insisted that I would like this show. She's like, "Oh, like I
Foolishness.
really think you would like it."
Foolishness and
And it was while we were at your house, I think. And we tried. I was like, "All right, fine. I'll give it a try." And like, I watched the first episode, and
God.
she's like, "So what'd you think?" I'm like, "I see why it's objectively good. This is not for me, though."
Tyler, you should have been like, Val, nothing has been more brewed in a lab to not be for Tyler.
Right, like
That was the appropriate answer, but I didn't want to be mean.
Val, if
But
you had
that
handed
show is
me
not
rat
for me,
poison,
though.
I'd say the show is not for me. I'll take the rat
Damn. I respect why people like it.
No,
though.
I know.
Like,
And like I
it's
said,
really
I'm in
good.
at this point that like this is my little shot of like juicy drama show. Look, we knew this little spark existed in me after Renee and I watched Jersey Shore during COVID. So I have this
I
little
hate that.
spark of dumb drama shit.
as the Zoomers say, I hate that for you.
Oh, okay. So books, Tyler, books.
Is there a new
Books.
Dresden book coming out?
Well, I don't think it's coming out this year, but his website is up to 38% written. So maybe we'll
Oh,
hear
man.
more.
You know, that's more than some other authors we know.
Yeah, I know. Tyler. No, Tyler, that book's been written 500%. He just keeps throwing it away and starting over. Don't you know that?
That's true. Fuck Patrick Rothfuss. Hate it.
Tyler, he might listen to this podcast now.
Good. I hope he listens. You know, actually, funny you mentioned that. Small tangent. Apparently he reads like not all of them. There's no way he can read all of them. But he goes on like Goodreads and he's like an active like reviewer on Goodreads.
Oh my god. Stop.
And I read it, dude, it's wild. Cuz I don't know what possessed me, but I wanted to go on Goodreads cuz he came out with that quote new short story back on my birthday.
Whatever.
And he released it and he like went in like because a bunch of people review bombed it before it came out, even though it technically released.
And so he had a few things to say about it, to say the least. And he was just like, I can't believe people would do this. Like, this is why, blah, blah, blah.
And you know what? Like, granted, I totally understand, like, people shouldn't be dickheads like that. But, like, I don't agree with, and I'm not even talking about the
review bombing
book.
is wrong, but also Patrick Rothfuss has kind of been fucking around with this for years now.
And not only the book though, like the fact that he uses the book to go like use it over like fans' heads to like kind of do shit. You heard about that, right?
No, but I can also imagine that he's the kind of person who would be like, "Oh, I'll give an interview to talk about my upcoming book that I'm going to release finally." And then nothing actually ever comes of it ever.
Oh, you want to hear something worse though? I should find the article, but a few years ago, cuz you know he does World Builders, like he like is the head of that.
No.
Yes. No.
So World Build, funny. So you remember where you got my Dresden mug from World Builders, actually?
Oh.
Yeah, because I liked it so much that I was like, yo, do they have other shit on there? And then after doing some digging, I learned that it's Patrick Rothfuss's site, and he does like shit with authors to like, you know, donate to charity, which is cool. But there was one in particular where it was kind of like a Kickstarter, like charity thing. It was more like a charity thing, where he's like, yo, if I raise X amount of money, I'm going to release a chapter from Doors of Stone.
That's right.
We're still waiting for that.
Oh yeah.
That chapter. Yeah. Even though he like that was like one of the most well-funded like campaigns like ever, and we're still waiting on that chapter. So he essentially just stole people's money.
Oh, big shock.
Yeah, you'd think.
All right, so we were
right?
talking about Jim Butcher and putting out Dresden Files, and hopefully we get more Dresden Files. Tyler,
Yeah,
there's another author
sorry.
who writes way too many books.
Yeah, I had to talk about it because I think that's important. But yes, so one thing that we are getting is I've been talking about Stormlight a lot and Brandon Sanderson. We're getting book 5, which was the name of it was released recently, called The Wind of Truth. And it's the last book in the Stormlight archives, like Arc 1. Like it's the last book in that first set of 5. And people have been waiting literally 10 years for the end of this. But it's not like anything else hasn't been like coming out in the in between. Like there's been like 10 books released in this universe and a plethora of short stories.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't been slouching. And it's also up for pre-order too, if anyone's interested.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting for that. That should come out in December, and Michelle and I are very excited for it.
Nice. Last but not least, on the upcoming.
A lot of franchises.
This is where I go nap.
Oh, come on. We're just blowing through a bunch more sequels.
These.
Demon Slayer, Hashira training arc. Boy, oh boy. Let's hope
Demon Slayer's a movie or a show?
Show. Let's hope it's better. It's coming out. Remember, it's in spring season. Most of this is in spring season. Demon Slayer, next arc. Hopefully it's better than the last arc was, which everyone said apparently was the worst arc in the manga. But hey, if we can get good again, then let's get good. Let's meet some Hashiras and watch them die too. Except they won't die, because haha, that was just one time when you actually cared about it, not anymore. My Hero, coming off the best arc since what? What was
the tournament arc in season 2?
Since the
since
the United States of Smash,
Smash.
Best part of the show since then. We're coming off that, so let's see if it can actually end strong after having a big slump in the middle.
That said, they are doing the movie that ties into the main plot, and the movie's not confirmed to come out at the same time in the U.S. So we'll see how that one pays off for international viewers.
All right, yay! More of distribution fucking everything up for everybody. Speaking of slime coming back, let's hope that reincarnated as a slime recovers from the disastrously terrible fucking 3-episode OVA that we watched with Luigi and Val.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, like season 3 barely kept me super invested. If season 4 doesn't feel like an improvement over 3, I'm probably going to stop after season 4.
See, I thought all the shit with Clayman at the end was pretty hype, so that got
it was
me back
cool,
in a little.
But we're at overpowered protagonist point, and unless they find a way to make the plot interesting, I'm just not going to feel invested anymore.
I'm going to reorder this. Speaking of overpowered protagonist, the One Punch Man of Hogwarts, Mashal, coming back in a few days. Definitely my most hyped show of winter season, which is kind of sad, but also hell yeah, Mashal's coming back. Fuck solo leveling, Mashal's coming back. Can't wait to watch.
I'm just here for Neo Sword Art Online.
Nah, I can't wait for him to punch his way through wizards' faces. It's pretty amazing. But the most wholesome show that's ever existed. Even Tyler is not totally immune to its powers sometimes. Camping is coming back, baby, in spring.
New animation style. I think
that was a show.
Movie, so it's in the future.
Yeah, it's when they're young adults, I think. I don't think they're in high school. I think they're actually
like college graduates, maybe working. It was kind of ambiguous. Doesn't matter.
So, get out your blankets and your tents and your traveling stoves. Let's fucking go. Let's get comfy.
Secret Society blanket expands.
Secret Society blanket returns once again as grown-ups.
Yeah, when are we going camping?
Lamau. Remember when the girls said we were going to do that this past winter?
Lol, dude.
That was said once and then forgotten about.
Yep, like we knew it would.
Oh yeah, Friedman. Oh no, never mind. Wait, that's not next. Oshinoko season 2 is supposed to be this year.
Let's go. Oshinoko's biggest problem was it was only 12 episodes. We need to let the plot roll a little bit more.
Lamau, Oshinoko's biggest problem was that it wasn't quite as good after the first hour episode.
And if it had a few more episodes to go, it would have gotten better, but unfortunately it was stuck at 12.
It did give Going Dark Star as a meme that I started using, so that was pretty good.
Going Dark Star.
No, real best comedy. Even I can admit that Mashal is not as good as Konosuba.
So is that actually coming out?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yes.
Spring season.
In,
spring is the most stacked season ever.
End of March, early April. There's so many sequels in March. Like Luigi and I were memeing that Spice and Wolf and Konosuba are the same season, so we finally get the Megumin Hollow matchup again outside of the Waifu Wars.
I can't wait for Konosuba.
I just hope they stick with the season 2 comedy style and not the.
Or what?
You saying that you can't wait for an anime? That you haven't said that.
I've said that a lot. What are you saying?
What are you talking about? It's been a
while.
What do I
talk?
Like,
just because I don't watch like losers like you guys doesn't mean I don't enjoy anime a lot.
I know. That's why it's exciting to hear you excited about one.
Anyway, I just hope this is like a sequel to season 2 and not a sequel to the Megumin spinoff that wasn't funny.
Oh god, the one that Val and I dropped.
Yes, that one. I say this as Megumin's biggest fanboy. That show was not good.
As the person who spent an entire Fable 2 campaign of D&D playing as Megumin, the Megumin show sucked.
Look, the only saving grace is that this is a backstory, so they didn't butcher her character. They just set up her redemption even harder. So now you know how much better of a character she is going into season 3. Now you know how absolute shit she started out as.
I think, as long as it's a sequel to the movie.
Can
we just stop with the Crimson Demons for 5 minutes, please, and do anything else? Anything, because literally it's been like 4 years since the last season when we did anything else.
Nah, we need more backstory about the younger.
Don't even joke. Anything else will be good. I'm tired of caring about these Crimson losers. Yes, they are losers. Speaking of, well, actually no.
Shit ton of movies.
Yeah, now we're mostly in movie territory. Haikyuu, woo, best sports anime.
Was it the first of the 2-part movie trilogy or something's coming out?
I think so, yeah.
2-part movie trilogy. 2-part movie duology.
Oh my god. I don't care. More Haikyuu is going to be hype as fuck. This Blue Lock is incredible. Don't get me wrong. I love Blue Lock. I think just based on pure runtime, Haikyuu still owns the spot of top sports anime for me.
My big concern is they're going to condense a lot to squeeze this arc into 2 movies, so I'm very concerned that it's going to feel rushed when it's over.
You're not wrong, but considering the last season was like 1 match, I kind of am okay with like picking up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, given that we don't read the manga, they can cut out like whole chunks of characters having backstory and shit, and it'll probably feel just fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I don't even know if this movie is definitely coming out this year. I feel like it has to. They don't announce anime movies that far out. The Villainous movie. My favorite dumb character. There's so many dumb comedies that I enjoy, but it all goes back to Baccarina and her black hole of stupidity. Yeah, the Villainous movie's supposed to come out this year. I don't know if I'll get to see it this year, but it's coming out this year in Japan supposedly. So hey, I can't wait to see it.
Wait a minute, it already came out in Japan, December 8th.
Oh, good. That means I'll definitely probably see it this year.
You might be piratable by Q4. Good luck with that.
Why are you hurting me? It's like 10 o'clock. Why are you hurting me?
Damn.
Anyway, before we talk about the next one real quick. So Blue Lock is getting this extra episode called Episode Nagi that's being theatrically released for some godforsaken reason. Meaning that we overseas won't get to see this backstory about, what's his name, Nagi, the white-haired kid who he had the purple-haired ally who also made it to the next round. Long story short, it probably doesn't matter. It sounds like it's purely just like fan service-y backstory stuff.
Do we know they made it to the next round?
Yeah, we saw him.
I literally forgot after the match with.
Remember the scene where he's like, "Oh,
forgot.
where's the dude who looks like Ichigo?" And the rest of his friends are like, "He didn't make it." Like that was the team he was expecting him to come in on. Because everyone else from the team that the main character.
Oh right, the orange-haired guy's gone, right?
Yeah, so Nagi's back, but Ichigo is dead.
Okay,
even though that's not his name.
Yeah, okay.
Ichigo's dead.
Freeman, I'm not. Okay, yeah, we forgot to mention Bleach is coming back this year. Maybe Bleach will be over this year.
Well, hold on.
Oh no, it's not coming out in spring. That's right. It's not going to end this year. Bleach is going to end next year.
No, because they're doing 6-month gaps, so I think it's airing in like June, and then the last one will be January of next year, and then Bleach will be dead. Truly.
Dead, like actually finished.
Yes.
I mean, they said this is a 4-core thing to end it off.
Yeah, because they already know how long the source material is. They've already roughly planned out how it's going to work.
And yet they still could have cut out like half the filler shit that happened in the second core, and it would be over already.
See, that's the problem. You're calling it filler. That's the problem. It's none of that was filler, and that's why Bleach got canceled.
Why Bleach got canceled?
Blue Lock Season 2 is coming this year. It's going to be a good year for sports eating.
I'm so excited. This is the arc where people just start actively threatening to kill each other in the middle of matches. I can't wait for it.
Look, I'm so ready for it. Tyler, I think I talked about it, but Freeman heard how hype I got during these absolutely brutal character assassinations in this show.
Damn.
Like, anytime anyone scores a goal, it's immediately like, okay, who's going to shit on someone else's entire identity in the next 30 seconds? Like, I'm here more for the trash talk than I am for the sports.
Oh, yeah. Who gives a
action.
fuck about the sports? When someone turns to someone else and is like, you're literally worse than human garbage. Like, it is what I'm here for. It's literally the yin to the Haikyuu yang, where they're all picking each other up and be like, nah, bro, you were doing okay. You can really pick it up. I'm here for you. I'll save the ball, and you have a chance to redeem yourself. And Blue Lock's like,
I'll fucking murder you if you touch the ball. Like... It's the exact opposite. It's phenomenal.
I will eat all your power so I can surpass you, and you're trash.
Hold on, just because you mentioned the devouring thing, I'm watching MF Ghost, and Barrow's voice actor is some random jobber in a car, and he's like, "If I don't speed up, I'm gonna get devoured." And I did the Leo pointing. Whoa. I'm like, he said it.
At some point this year, we're supposed to get the Overlord movie that took place before the halfway point of the last season, the Holy Kingdom shit. I'm here for it. More Overlord content. Me and Luigi will probably be in the front row of the theaters watching this Overlord movie.
There's no way I'll catch up in time for this movie to come.
We don't even know when it's coming out in Japan. There's no way it's coming out in here until like November again.
All right, I just got to get serious about finding time to watch Overlord again.
It's pretty good. And then Freeman, you actually put an anime on here.
So this one's weird. So Tower of God is actually coming back. I remember they loosely confirmed as season 2. Just for context, season 1 aired at like the peak of COVID, like June 2020, and they were like radio silent for forever. Crunchyroll's big let's buy every manhwa plan straight up didn't work. But now they're coming back, and my buddy Diego's a huge manhwa reader, and he always says like they got to the end of the prequel part. Like now the story, like the real story, like starts with this arc. So I'm like, okay, cool. When season 2 happens, I'll get really hyped for it. And now we're at that point. So I just want to see more of it because Tower of God was interesting. They just didn't get the ball rolling up. It's like, imagine if Hunter x Hunter stopped before they introduced Nen. Is how this played out.
Oh, is that how it is?
Yeah, like they loosely explained the power system, but like no one's actually done anything with it yet. So I'm excited for that next season.
I mean, the only thing that got like I was literally checked out of that whole series until the very last scene, and I was like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, it was weird. Like the first 6 episodes, I was kind of whatever. I actually enjoyed the last half of it, which gives me hope that that's the way the rest of the show is going to move into. Because it definitely, this might just be a manhwa thing, but they really love not explaining anything. And it's kind of annoying, but I think that's supposed to be the appeal of it. All right, whatever.
We're done. We previewed the year.
2024 is over.
2024. We might as well wrap it in. By that I mean
wrap it in.
Wrap it in. Let me begin.
I don't know what the hell.
I mixed wrap it up and pack it in. Okay. But we did, in the short time between the start of the holidays and New Year's, we all found time to do a little bit of watching, playing, and watching and playing is the 2 things on the list. Freeman, you played some video games.
Yes, I had a break from work, so I finally finished like the remaining 10% of Final Fantasy 16. I was so happy. I go to what's very clearly supposed to be the final boss area. I go and I fight the final boss. I like barely hurt him, and it gives me this giant victory screen. I'm like, that can't be it. That can't be the end of the game. Turns out it wasn't. It dumps me back into the hub with like 11 and a half side quests unlocked. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yep.
So I took a long break. I came back. I beat all the side quests, and then I did the final boss fight. And having done that, I was livid because I'm like, they should have just brought me to the final boss fight right there. Like, I didn't need to take this final break again. So I finished 16. Overall, it's a well-made game, but like, I really didn't like it that much. I don't know what it was. Whether it's the whole just you don't really have a party, and when you do, they're pointless. I don't know. It's not a bad game. It just wasn't my game. Is the best way I can describe this.
I feel that.
Like I like all the characters. The music eventually got to me. There were just little things here and there that were super annoying. I don't know if you noticed this, but it pissed me off every time it does. When you go to ride a chocobo, the camera does this weird swinging motion as you get on, and every time I'd get on a chocobo, I'd be sitting there like, what fucking direction am I facing? Even though the camera eventually points you in the exact direction you were when you got on the chocobo, even though it's not the same direction that the chocobo is facing when you get on them. I don't know.
No, I agree. Weird. I didn't like it either.
It was like I got too used to Witcher 3 where when you get on Roach, like you're just facing whatever direction the horse was standing. And it makes sense. But overall, I think this definitely feels a lot like they really just want to take Final Fantasy 15 and just do it better. Like this gameplay wise, it reminds me a lot of what I thought the trailer for Versus 13 was going to be like for this action RPG, like not quite a Kingdom Hearts. I don't call Final Fantasy 15 a Kingdom Hearts knockoff, but you know what I'm saying? Like 15 felt way more like Kingdom Hearts than 16 did.
Yeah, I feel like 16 they tried doing something different. And it kind of ended up being whatever.
I don't fault them for it, but it felt like they really wanted to make a game that wasn't Final Fantasy, and were kind of like stuck trying to make it Final Fantasy. Like I did grind out all of the hunts needed to craft like the best weapon in the game, but like equipment had almost no bearing on the gameplay. Your level didn't matter at all. Like you had stat increases, but like there was never a fight where it's like, damn, I should level up to make this fight easier. Like if that's not a thing, then I don't know why levels are a thing in your game. If it's not like indicative of power. I don't know. Overall, pretty fun. I got my $60 worth. There was some cool stuff they did on PS5. Like every time they used your controller speaker for shit, I would always be impressed by it. They use the adaptive triggers pretty well. It's a good PS5 game if you're looking for an exclusive, but overall, I did not love it that much. There you go. That's my take on Final Fantasy 16. But as soon as I finished that, I went to play Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intermission, which is like the Yuffie DLC that came with Intergrade. And I started playing and immediately got mega nostalgic because it's been like 2.5 years since Remake came out. But the thing is, most people played this like 9 months after Remake came out, not 2.5 years. So I'm really tardy to the party. There's like one teeny scene where you see Barrett and Tifa like arguing, and this is like right after Cloud falls off one of the plates. So this is like a scene we haven't seen otherwise in any Final Fantasy 7 depiction. I'm sitting there getting so nostalgic for these characters, and I'm sitting here like I'm the loser who waited and now feels nostalgic for this shit. But overall, it's fun. The one complaint I have about 7R is that Yuffie's the only controllable character. And this is the same complaint I had about 16, that like I like having a party. I like jumping around and changing strategies. And being stuck on a character where if I happen to be the character that just gets like randomly smacked with the one-hit kill move, congrats, my run is dead, and I have to load it from a save point. I like party play when it comes to RPGs. I don't like when the main character dies, your game is over. And this DLC kind of sticks you with that, so it sucks. But I'm having fun with it.
Hell yeah.
All right, enough JRPGs, enough Japan. Let's talk about other stuff.
Enough Japan-ame.
Tyler, you played a non-Japan-ame.
Oh, I did. I had to come back to this. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I played the free DLC for God of War called Valhalla. AKA, I don't even know if I should say this. It's kind of spoilery.
Listeners, spoilers for the DLC. Jump ahead like 2 minutes if you don't want to.
Yeah,
well,
it's literally just a title. It's Kratos goes to therapy. Like legitimately, like that's it. Except he hits a lot of stuff. Man, when I tell
therapy,
you,
like he just has a lot of like emotional moments, or it's like a very like exploration of Kratos' psyche kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, both of those things. Yes. It's literally. Like Kratos he gets an the whole premise is Kratos gets an invitation to Valhalla, right? He forces himself in. Everybody's like, what the fuck is your problem? Why are you here? And he's like, yo, someone sent me a message to come here, so I came here. Come to find out, it's all a reason for him to explore what is keeping him from the proposition he gets at the end of Ragnarok. So he gets asked a question, like someone wants him to do a specific thing, right? He isn't sure if he wants to do it because of some other reasons, right? So doing Valhalla, like going through Valhalla, he goes through events and other pivotal decisions he made in the original trilogy of God of War, and he tries to resolve those issues. But it's a roguelite, so you just go through it a bunch of times until you finally get it. Yeah, and it's pretty fucking cool. Like, I would have paid money for this.
I don't know why.
They previously announced it was going to be free, or was it a surprise when it just...
It was a surprise at the Game Awards.
Yeah, they said at the Game Awards it was coming out in like a week, right? Or like a month?
No, it was a week. It was literally the next week it came out.
I have seen a crap load of YouTube shorts. I don't know why YouTube was like, Tim wants to watch all the YouTube shorts of every conversation Mimir and Kratos have, and Kratos and other characters have, but I have seen a lot of the stuff they talk about in this, and you're not wrong that it's Kratos therapy.
Yeah, it's literally Kratos therapy.
Talks about the Greek
love
gods, talks about his wife and daughter, talking about, oh my god, everything.
Yeah, dude, it's Kratos goes to therapy the only way Kratos would ever go to therapy.
Violence.
Yes. Yes.
So, Tyler, do you think this is clearly like them laying the groundwork for the next one?
That's the thing. I don't even... Maybe, like, it's kind of open, but I'm pretty sure it kind of is. Like, he does give an answer to the end to the question that was presented to him. But yeah, I guess the answer is yes. But how much is probably not. Like, it's still like pretty open for a lot of things. Like, all it does is to serve that, like, it kind of ties up actually some unresolved character things with Kratos, because I think Kratos' story is over personally. I personally think that they are done with Kratos, and I think they're going to move on to Atreus. That's my...
I mean, that did seem like my impression from the end of the game.
Yeah, and I think they solidify it through Valhalla.
Okay, that Kratos is kind of taking a break.
Well, that we take a break from Kratos.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not that he might be taking a break.
Yeah.
From anything. But, like, as far as his point of view, like, we're probably done with his point of view. But yeah, that was Valhalla. I highly recommend it. It's free. If you played Ragnarok, I strongly recommend playing this. Or if you followed the story like Tim and didn't actually play it, and you just want to experience the story, I also recommend that too. And we can go to movies.
All right. Oh, I got a ton on here. So I ended up going
This
to the movies.
all looks like garbage. I know one of them's a hot take, but whatever.
I enjoyed some of these. So I got dragged in the movie to go see Wonka. I didn't know it was a musical. The opening line is a song. At that point, I realized, like, this is what I'm here for. It was okay. It wasn't like... I went in expecting, like, this is going to be a character assassination of Wonka. This is going to be terrible. Did a great job showing you a prequel of, like, what it would be like if there was, the version of Wonka who's just starting out. He's building his chocolate factory. He's still optimistic. He's not the jaded Gene Wilder who, like, might let some children die for a joke. It was fine being this whimsical kids movie. I think this is meant to be like, take your family, go see it. It's not supposed to be groundbreaking. It's not supposed to be, ridiculous, but it was okay. My only complaint is that the villains were too comically evil from the moment they were on screen, that there was never an actual, like, threat to the plot. It just felt way too low stakes for me to just even be invested in what was going on. So they need to make the villains like actual villains and not clowns. That's my take on Wonka. And then on Christmas, we were like struggling to find something we'd all like to go see. And when someone's like, why don't we go watch Poor Things? It seems interesting. It's like Frankenstein is the only description I was given for this movie. And I said, sure, fuck it, why not? the loose plot is this girl gets a brain transplant, so she's like an adult, but she has like a fresh mind. So they're trying to like teach her. They're trying to teach her how to be a person as fast as possible. And she gets to the part where she starts learning about sex and just runs away. And imagine if Frankenstein's monster was like, I'm just gonna go on like a sex romp through Europe, and learn about life that way. And it's a very weird, dark comedy. Half it's in black and white. It turns into color during, I think, like the first of multiple sex scenes. Overall, interesting, weird movie. Not for everyone.
Never even heard of this. I gotta.
It's a strange movie. But it's in theaters right now. Overall, I enjoyed it, but it's not the kind of movie I'd watch a second time. And then I think this was right after Christmas. I was hanging out with some friends, and we were like running through just action-y movies to watch. And I've never actually seen any of the Kingsman movies, so we watched the first one. I very much enjoyed it. I'm not going to go super in depth into this, but like it's just a fun action comedy. Looking forward to watching the others. I didn't realize they're making, I guess, like a fifth one. I knew there were three. A fourth one's in development. I think a fifth one's also coming out, but the fifth one is a sequel to the third, which is a prequel. I don't know. I'm not in this franchise, but I'm watching through them.
Kingsman 1 was fun.
I didn't like either ones that I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't like them. Everybody thought that was weird, and they're like, "You don't like either of these movies?" I'm like, "Absolutely not."
I mean, I get it. It wasn't like this was a standout movie, but like, it was still enjoyable. Like, I went with the expectation of like, I'm here to watch an action movie, and it was funny enough to keep my attention. The last movie I watched, this one's might be my hot take, is I watched the Mobile Suit Gundam movie, Char's Counterattack, which I've been painstakingly working through Double Zeta to get to because apparently it's critical to watch. Then I hung out with my buddy Joe 2 weeks ago, and he's like, "What are you smoking? Nothing in Zeta is important. As long as you know that the Nazis are in space, you're golden." So I'm like, "All right, fine." I sit down, I watch Char's Counterattack, and it very much just kind of disrupts the entire plot line that Double Zeta is building up and says, "Fuck it, we want to bring back the protagonist from the original Gundam for this just one-off fight." The one thing I will praise is they, like, are you too familiar with the term colony drop?
No.
Yes.
The idea of dropping a large object from outer space as just a weapon of mass
destruction. Yeah, it's the whole ending of Gundam Wing.
Yeah, I haven't seen Gundam Wing, so I don't know if or how they do in Gundam Wing, but like the start of the 1 year war in Gundam, like the first war, is they drop a colony from space and wipe out like 80% of the Earth's population. So the plot of Char's Counterattack is he says, "Fuck it, Earth sucks, I'm gonna blow it up." So he starts by dropping a meteor on Tibet, and like one of the opening scenes, they show the destruction of what would happen if a large meteor like targeted a major city. It was pretty brutal. My complaint though is that the second half of the movie kind of lost a lot of its focus, and they tried to introduce characters that made Char look like a pedophile, even though he's not really supposed to be. But they very clearly have multiple characters call him that to cement a point that isn't really correct. But then the character that he's grooming is supposed to be a main character, but she doesn't have time for her art to like matter at all. And it just kind of ends in this cool fight that felt not super necessary. And then everyone dies, but not everyone dies. Only the important characters die at the end, so that way we don't have to see them anymore. I don't know. I left Char's Counterattack kind of upset because I've been working through Universal Century for two reasons. One, to watch Char's Counterattack, and two, to watch Gundam Unicorn. So I'm a little disappointed that was how Char's Counterattack ended. But it does set like a clean slate for Universal Century. So for anything that comes after this, you don't need all these recurring characters to make it good. So I'm excited to get to the post 1989 Universal Century stuff at some point.
Word.
And those were all the movies I watched like the last 2.5 weeks.
Nice.
Now, who watched the next one?
I watched A Bug's Life X Star Wars, aka Rebel Moon.
I didn't see your score on Letterboxd. What did you think of it?
What did I rate it? I think I rated it like a 2.5.
Surprised it was that high.
It was, man. Yeah, what did I? Hold on.
You gave it 2.5.
Yeah.
If Snyder didn't pad the runtime with slow-mo, he could have got a whole part 2 in.
Yes. Yeah, that was my review.
Was there a lot of slow-mo in the movie?
Dude. Yes. Yes. Every action scene was slow-mo. Every action scene.
That sounds annoying.
I think it's hilarious too. Like, there's so many things wrong with it. And like, the more I think about it, the worse it gets. Because like,
His whole thing was he wanted to make an R-rated Star Wars. Barely even like used the R rating that he got. Was number one. Number two, like the plot is garbage. Like it, I can honestly go on, but I'm just gonna keep it short and say just avoid it. Like just avoid it. I kind of had some faith. I was like, you know what, like, Scott Snyder or Zack Snyder. Sorry, Scott Snyder is the comic book writer. Zack Snyder has made a few things that like didn't really age well, but I kind of liked some of his stuff in the past. The trailers looked cool. I'm gonna give it a shot, right? And like Michelle's like, yeah, like I saw the trailer, like I'm willing to give it a shot too. And we're like, man, this movie was bad. So just avoid it.
Tyler, I'm surprised though that is only half a star worse than Dread.
Yeah, now that I think about it. But you notice what I said about Dread though, right? Or not said, but you notice that I have a heart next to Dread though, right?
You do have a heart next to Dread, but I still
objectively
don't understand the three stars.
Objectively, Dread's not that great, I think.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think on a lot of levels it's a very good, well-made movie.
I don't know if it's well made.
What?
I think it stays true to the comic though. But I don't think it's
stylish,
well made.
Looks good.
I don't know, man. There's just some things about it that just kind of rub me the wrong way. Like, I don't know, like some of it's weird. Like, it's actually funny. Michelle's biggest thing was she was like, I don't like Carl Urban's portrayal. And I was like, what if I told you this is how he acts in the comic book? And she's like, I just don't like it. I was like, that's fair. That's fair. But this is as true as it gets. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, it's hard for me to put my finger on it. Like, it's not something that I would recommend to a lot of people or even say that it was really good. But I enjoy it. I would watch this movie again, like, over. Well, like that's what it really means, right? Like when I think that I told you that.
Heart
like
is rewatchable. Yeah, I would agree with that usually.
Oh no, Heart is not rewatchable for me. Heart is I plan on rewatching this in the future.
Oh.
Like I would definitely
more than
rewatch it.
It's like will rewatch.
Yeah, I will rewatch. Like if someone brings it up, I'll be like, yo, I'm down to watch this. Yeah, let's go.
And I would agree with that for Dread for sure.
Yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying as far as Dread. Like, it's more of an objective thing when I rate something like that. But if I put the heart next to it, you know, it has my endorsement. Like, I will watch that shit.
True.
Yeah, honestly, I might even go retroactively talking about. I might even go back and like rate Rebel Moon like a 2.
Okay, good. I was like, that seems still too close.
Because you know why? Because like 2.5 is like it's mediocre, right? Like as in like there's nothing good about it. I mean, there is stuff bad about it, but like there's nothing good. Like it's not also unwatchable either.
Meh.
It's just not.
Part 2's coming out this year, Tyler.
Huh?
Part 2's coming out this year.
Talk about things that are coming out. I don't plan on watching it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Michelle and I both agreed that we had no plans on watching it. Those are all the movies. Oh yeah, but I said A Bug's Life Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I didn't mention what the Bug's Life part was.
Yeah, I'm curious about this.
You know what? How about this? Take a guess.
Is it the
if I said
structure?
It was
Is it the exact plot structure?
You're goddamn right it is.
Oh my god.
Because, Seven Samurai wasn't fucking overdone like 100 times. See, it was cute when it was A Bug's Life.
I hate thinking that it's the same plot.
But every fucking thing that does it afterwards, like I even told Michelle, I was like, yo, like I'm getting sick of this, like, because Mandalorian did it. I forget what, like, there's a bunch of stuff that like did, like, I can't remember. Sorry, I should rephrase. Magnificent Seven did it first, and then Bug's Life, and then every other thing under the sun was like, we want to have a Seven Samurai plot, which is funny right? One thing we'll move on. I'm sorry, because Tim, right? Imagine a bunch of fucking farmers in the Star Wars universe. They're like, I'm gonna go get a bunch of people together, and we're gonna fight this Star Destroyer. All right, with what ships? We're gonna fight that Star Destroyer.
No, dude, he watched episode 9 where I didn't watch it, but I know there's a scene where they ride alien horses on top of a Star Destroyer and they win. So he watched that part of Star Wars and was like, well, if Star Wars can make it happen with dumb farm animals, well, then I can make it happen with dumb farm animals.
I hate.
Star Wars enabled this, Tyler. Star Wars led to this.
I hate.
That's no moon. It's a rebel moon.
Oh my god.
Let's move on to shows.
All right, let's talk about the few anime we finished and started. Or actually, Tim, you finished all 3 of these. I started one of them. But
talk about these. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, let's go real quick. Zom 100. The last batch of 3 episodes came out like
dancing on it. Yeah, this
show like middle of December. So we got to watch the conclusion to an arc that we set up several months ago, and I'm not gonna lie, forgot what was going on as we started the episode.
This arc is both the worst part of Zom 100, but also still at the end, I'm like, I am so down for more Zom 100. I don't care.
Yeah, it wasn't a phenomenal arc, but it wasn't like the kind of arc that makes you disinterested in the show. It was more just like, okay, whatever, show me the next arc.
This was dumb, but I'm still here for these characters. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we got to
Tyler,
to see.
This was the zombie show arc where there are humans that are like, what if we're all gonna die? We should just make it so that the zombies kill everybody. That'll be a fun way to die, right?
Jesus.
Like, literally, this is the arc where it's like, we're in a safe place. This is a good place. And then some edgelords come along and are like, the world is over.
No one deserves happiness. You're going to suffer because...
We've led miserable lives because we're terrible people. But it's society that's to blame. So let's just kill all the humans by releasing the zombies. I was like, this is such dumb bullshit. Like, they do the thing where they flash back to these 4 villain characters, and it's like, they literally had every chance to be happy and chose to be shitty people, but it's everybody else's fault. So
I did think it was hilarious that all of their backstories where they show just how fucked their lives are, it's all their faults, and it's very obvious to the viewer that, like,
Tyler,
they're just terrible people.
Tyler, there's a guy who's like, everybody treats me like I'm a fucking loser, except his flashback is he's a sous chef who is lazy, has to stay late, and then throws a cigarette butt into an open trash can and burns down the restaurant he worked at. And he's like, everybody blames me for everything.
Jesus.
It's so over the top. Oh my god.
The villains kind of suck, but overall, still a good show.
It's also one of those things where they rely on the villain literally having pointed teeth for no reason. Like, they just draw him with pointed teeth to be like, if you can't tell, he's the villain. But it doesn't matter. The arc was still super fun. They actually did creative stuff. Beatrice on the wheel is pretty hilarious.
Hilarious. Best character.
I don't know, Freeman. What's his name? The blonde friend diving right into the open pile of shit.
All right, so they did this fun thing. So obviously they always censor poop every time it's an anime. So he dives into this pile of poop to, get his scent away from these zombies. But when he comes out of the poop, he's entirely censored, but his eyes and his mouth just aren't for the rest of the episode.
They're just unblurred on top of the blurring of the rest of.
Yeah, he's this walking pixelated blob with just a normal anime face on top of it. It was hilarious.
It worked so well. It was so funny.
And like I was laughing when it was for like 30 seconds, and then when the episode kept going, he still looked like that the whole time I was dying.
Yeah, Zom 100 could have probably been on the top. I don't even remember from 2 weeks ago if it was on there, but probably could be on the top new shows of the year for me. Opening's a banger, show's great message. I'm not gonna be like Mother's Basement, like this is the greatest show that came out all year, because that's just wrong.
Yeah, it wasn't the great. It was still good, but it wasn't.
But it was still very good. I would still highly recommend it. Anyone who wants a fun show that has a message that feels uplifting, especially in today's day and age where a lot of people are feeling very beat down by society. This has a good message.
That, or you want to watch a zombie show that isn't just depressing as fuck.
Yes, also true. The zombies literally are filled with kaleidoscope blood, so it's just entertaining. It's not supposed to be gritty and dark.
How much can we talk about this next one? I don't want to ruin anything for Tyler here, but we finished, like, you, me, and Val finished Jujutsu. No, don't we?
No,
We finished
don't
Jujutsu
bother.
last week. What do we say about this? We had an off recording discussion about whether the animation problems impacted our enjoyment of the season, and I think we're at odds where I thought that despite the obvious animation flaws, it still looked great.
And to me, it was, wow, I can literally see how this is like a first draft because they were so rushed. I know this looks fine. I can't imagine how good this could have looked with enough time. I think this could have been one of the most incredibly stunningly animated things in the world, and it's not that. Even though it's Mappa trying really hard, they literally can't make perfection out of 5 minutes worth of time they're given.
So
wait. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I had said something very similar when Attack on Titan was happening, because I really, really didn't like the CG models at the beginning of season 4, and then when Annie showed up in season 4, part 2,
Spoilers.
Her model was fine, but they didn't update any of the CG models in the previous season because it would have been too expensive, and it was super obvious they had the potential to do the Titans in 3D just fine, but they were so rushed and they couldn't go back to fix it. So I had the same thing you're talking about with Jujutsu 2. I felt that with Attack on Titan 4 part 2.
Wait, what part so far has been bad?
It's not.
Am I crazy?
Okay,
No,
so
you're not there yet.
So yes. So all right. So you know the scene where Yuji's like starting to go through the layers and he runs into this bug creature, and there's this extended JoJo punching sequence.
Yes.
It was very zoomed in. There was a lot of frame interpolation.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was the first indication that corners were getting cut on some fight scenes, but it doesn't really cut in until I think like the 3/4 mark. You'll know when it happens because the fights start getting really fucky.
There's fights that are really big.
Because I've been really enjoying the fights so far.
Like the second the fights stop being
bigger.
fist fights, when they stop being fist fights, that's when the animation kicks up, and when there's parts where I don't want to use the term questionable, it gets creatively strange, and you can start to see a lot of the cracks during those sequences.
Damn.
Look, Tyler, don't take my word for it. Like Freeman said, he still thought it was a fantastic season, top to bottom, even with the constraints.
Yeah. I think even the ugly shit that you can tell was like, oh wow, they rushed that part. I still think it looks better than a lot of the anime that came out this year, so I'm not faulting it that hard. Even though I am well aware that Mappa is not running a what's the term I'm looking for here? Sustainable business here.
I think I'm also just burning on Jujutsu hard. But Freeman and I had a long discussion about, like, I'm just...
Yeah, different stuff matters to us is what we came to the conclusion
not even
about.
that. I'm just fucking tired of being depressed by the end of this season.
I'm tired of I want to be hurt more.
I don't.
Is it bad that this is what I want all the time?
Of course it is. Of course it is. Tyler, you're gonna love this season. You're gonna get to the end and you're gonna be like,
Snake.
wow, this is what I'm here for.
Hurt me more, Snake.
Yes.
Hurt me more, dog.
Tyler, I don't think you're gonna have anything but good things to say when you catch up for the season. You should keep going.
Yeah,
All right. That being said, I feel like I have to say something that, like, yes, I do like some bleak shit, but like I do like it when things do turn out well, right? Like, I do like that.
First camp away because it ain't turning out well.
Yeah, but speaking of things turning out well, let's talk about the last show on the list before we ruin anything else for Tyler here.
Yeah, Tyler, why don't you this if you and Michelle need like 5 minutes? So okay, actually, I'm gonna tell a story about this show, and we're gonna end the podcast here, or with this last thing. Pokemon Concierge, mini series that came to Netflix literally out of nowhere, almost no announcement, right before New Year's. Val and I watched it. After everybody left on New Year's night, we showed it to Friedman. And Friedman, do you remember what you said as we started the show?
I said as we started. No, I remember at the end I said this is walking proof that Game Freak is what's wrong with Pokemon. Like,
okay, you're not wrong there, but also when the intro stuff with the girl's backstory was happening and she was showing up on the boat, you said something that I have remembered since you said it. I don't know if you remember.
I was very drunk. I don't remember what I said.
You said, "I hope this doesn't reignite the magic of Pokemon for me." Because
okay, yes, now I remember saying that.
It has been gone since the games. This is a slim reminder of what the magic of Pokemon is. I'm gonna steal from Drunk Friedman. This is not a big story. This has no twists and turns.
Like 4 episodes.
This is 4 15-ish minute episodes. I think some of them are shorter. This is, hey, we're not fighting. Pokemon, did everyone forget that Pokemon can be fucking cute?
Pokemon
and
are
wholesome
friends,
little
not
creatures,
food.
and they're friends. Oh, Jesus. That Pokemon are cute little fluffy things that people make strong emotional attachments to and don't just min-max grind the shit out of them to level 100 so they can kill each other in duels. Pokemon are actual creatures, and that's what the point of this show is, except it's also gorgeous stop-motion animation.
Yeah, they do this. I'm not going to call it claymation because like the texture pattern they use on the Pokemon is like this felt look. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting to watch.
It looks so good.
And it doesn't get my choppy CG criticism because like it's intentionally choppy to get that style, so it ends up looking good.
What in the Isle of Dogs shit is this?
It was just fun. Val and I enjoyed it a lot. It was a very fun little wholesome thing to watch. I don't know
one of those I'll watch before I go to sleep kind of shows.
You'll know when you watch the trailer if you're going to want to watch this. Tyler doesn't want to watch this. It's fine. Friedman.
I never said that. Oh my god.
You literally were just like, look at this garbage.
No, I said the Isle of Dogs, not that it's actual dog shit. You know what? Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Yes, but the tone of
your Wallace and Gromit kind of shit.
What in the Isle of Dogs is this?
Yeah.
Tyler, you couldn't have said it more aggressively. Like, I don't want to even.
Anyway, so all accusations aside, it's a very cute low stakes show that reminds me of the passion I had when I was a kid to be like, what if Pokemon were real, and what if there was a Pokemon on vacation with me?
Okay, you know what this is? In every Pokemon TV show, in everything, there's the character who isn't in it for the fighting, who has a Pokemon friend.
Who's just trying to breed Pokemon.
This
catch my drift.
show is literally, let's go to an island that is all about being friends with Pokemon. And that's the whole point of the show, and it's cute, and it's really well animated, and the studio who did it did a 5-minute YouTube short called Hakari, which is one of the coolest action stop-motion things I've ever seen in my entire life. And anybody who wants to see cool stop-motion should go watch it. Or Hidari, Hidari. Go watch that on YouTube if you want a sneak peek of what the stop-motion skills these guys have is in a totally different setting. But if you want the fun, cute Pokemon, go to Netflix and watch Pokemon Concierge. Really enjoyed it as a small taste of like Pokemon joy again after not having played a game for like 10 years. It is good.
Freeman, what in the fucking Wallace and Gromit Chicken Little?
Freeman, do you think you're gonna watch the rest?
Oh, I'm definitely watching the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cute. It's everything I loved about Pokemon. Mudkip is in it. Mudkip's in it a lot. They show you how Mudkip's flipper is supposed to just move when he's walking around all the time.
And it makes a sound. It's pretty cute.
It's adorable.
Freeman, I am sorry to say though that there's not much Mudkip in the rest of the show.
Damn it! 0 out of 10.
They
Terrible
still
show.
show the Mudkip, but it's much more of a main. It's that was its one scene claim to fame.
I know, but that was such a good scene of just him standing there and flipping his little flipper.
It was super cute.
Oh my god.
What?
Cheese and rice.
But yeah, so that is the 2024. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Preview. hope you all have a very, very good 2024. But we will be here every other Tuesday, 1,000% guaranteed, no possibility of missing. Definitely going to break 12 episodes this year. But until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Only just Tyler.
And we'll catch you guys later in 2024. Have a good one.